Hoyanda Dames in here, Mordish, Forlish, Dochtish, Seons, Brush, and Sisters. I really hope I was somewhere near accurate with that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. Welcome to Kyalami in South Africa for the final race of the MSR GT1 2005 season. Oh my god, what a season it has been. And those looking at the stream will see how close it is. Joint point scorers at the top of the Drivers' Championship. The Team Championship is done. Our Lemon Aston Martins have claimed it by quite some distance. I think it was fair to say we saw that coming. But those two drivers are in prime contention to be taking the title. Ricky is in mathematical contention for it. He would, however, need both of the Lemon Astons to pretty much detonate for that to happen. However, as you can quite clearly see, it's very wet. And we are going to be having a dry to wet race tonight. So Kyalami is it's a circuit that really needs a lot of concentration at the best of times. So it's going to be interesting to see how our drivers deal with this absolute behemoth of a circuit. Hello, Galax. Once again, you are first in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Joining me in the commentary box, always happy to say, the man with the golden R's is Martin. Welcome back, Martin.
Greetings, and I must say the Afrikaans opener there, it almost sounded to me like you were reciting some sort of elf spell. It was quite impressive.
Well, you say that, but my good lady has just... yeah, that's it. You are banned from ever speaking Afrikaans ever again. Yeah, I don't blame her either. I absolutely destroyed the Afrikaans language there. Sorry, babe. Ek lief jou. I'll just stick to saying that because it's only 3 words. Well, what have we got ahead of us? Well, we have got 16 drivers. If we could have the tower, please, sir.
Yeah, coming right up.
There we go. So, 16 drivers have joined us to tackle this very, very tricky circuit. It's tricky enough in the dry, and as you can quite clearly see, we are in wet conditions. So the track is wet, and we have light rain, so it's not
they can't quite clearly see it because we still have all the data up on the screen.
Oh, I've done it again. Sorry. Glad one of us is paying attention. I said my good lady's going to divorce me before we even got married. Look, after that, I tried, babe. I tried.
Also, just to answer Starfox there, I think we are doing quite well tonight. Probably a bit better than the drivers who are going to be having a lot of moist torment tonight.
Yes, living up to the MSR name. Riding on board with one of our championship contenders, Ultimate Kater, who disconnected from the race last time out on Fontana. Now, there are drop scores to be taken into consideration for this championship. Now, the points that you've seen at the beginning of the stream do not have any drop scores included, as only one race drop score is taken into consideration. But if we were to apply the drop score as of tonight, Kaiser would lead Matt by 3 points, 141 to 138, and then Ricky would be another 17 back on 121.
Yeah, so you'd essentially have to assume that something terribly awful happens to both Keza and Mats for Ricky to still win this, but it's not over just yet for the Drink and Drive Saxony driver. So it will mostly be, I think, a showdown between the two teammates. Keza, though, definitely said he was expecting a strong performance from Mats tonight, which we have seen throughout the season. Keza did lead the previous race quite dominantly until he had that unfortunate disconnect towards the end, so that's definitely made the championship a bit more exciting for this finale. But yeah, I think the driver currently out on top, it is Keza at the start of this quality session with 10 minutes left to go. Matt's yet to set a time.
Indeed. Some work to do, maybe next year. You banned me from speaking Afrikaans, so no. You have made your declaration there, babe. So no, can't do it now.
Geen Afrikaans video.
What he said. VGG, good to see you, sir. Good to have your company for the stream. Let's see how our qualification is looking. Kaiser is at the top of the tree at the moment with a 53.7 as we are running on board with his teammate Matt over the line. 2 minutes, so there'll be a spin of the... Peter, good to see you. My Kodiakalites are coming to watch what I get up to. To see my faithful volunteers for my video series have all the opportunity now to give me an absolutely hard, grilling and hard time right now in retribution for the difficulties I subject them to in my video series.
Now it is interesting, currently the top 2 at the beginning of this quali session, also in the top 3 of the championship. I'm sure Mats will make that 3 for 3 in just a moment as he's improving on his personal best, but he is actually catching, I believe that is JD just up ahead, so he will hope that he gets out of the way, but I don't quite think he's obligated to if they're both on a push lap.
We will see. Julcad joins us as well. Welcome back to you. Glad to see you. Let us see then how the rest of the session is going. Still running on board with Matson as we come into where now my track map is differently orientated to how it is in game, but that is Leukop or Lionhead as it is translated to. 10 seconds up. Well, that is somewhat what we expected to see. Oh, flirting with the dust on the outside of that left-hander, which on my map doesn't have a name. Here it's called the Crocodiles, but for reasons I'm not 100% certain. Now down to Cheetah, so you can't flat out that, certainly not in the wet.
You can't cheat it.
You can't cheat it. No, you can try, but it won't go well for you. And then it is Ingwe, which is our final turn. We see Matt's chasing one of the Anime Astons over the line. Now Slipstream is going to do you no good whatsoever. That is 7th for Matt, a 55 flat for him. Kaiser at the top of the tree. Now the track already started wet. It has not gotten any worse. It's only light rain, so the level of deterioration in the track is fairly marginal. Oh, as I say that, I've just sent Kaiser backwards into the dust. The track already started wet, so it wasn't a case of earlier. The earlier laps would naturally be the best ones. As we're watching Ricky, only half a second behind in the Anime Aston, and he's improving on this lap, not necessarily by enough to challenge for that top spot. Oh, is that Mammoth that is behind? We didn't see Mammoth last time out.
He's currently in 4th, doing a lot better than last time. I believe he did join last time, he just didn't end up finishing the race due to, well, I think he was just having a really tough time that night.
Indeed, so that dropped in quite some distance down the pecking order, down to, now on the points I've got in front of me are points adjusted for taking a round out, although Mammoth hasn't really lost anything, so he's down as far as points wise, so he's in 9th in the championship. But that, what are you doing out there, Trouble? You can't park there, sir.
He's testing reverse gear in case he needs it for the race.
He's riding the crocodile by the look of that, so I'm guessing that was Trouble. That looked like the green Dodge.
Most certainly was, and I will say, as Fennec now with the least practice of all, puts it on provisional pole less than a 10th ahead of Keza. That is something I was not expecting, and I think he probably wasn't either.
He probably wasn't either, but yeah, fair play, Fennec. Now the sun is actually supposedly shining, but it's not going to make any substantial difference to the track as it is still raining, so it's basically there to maintain the level of wet on the track. We may see a little bit of improvement. We will have to see how the season goes. Fennec is in 13th in the championship in the cream. That's Ricky, who's back in the pits. Andrew, who was on the podium last time out at Fontana, came home in 2nd in the Dodge. Now, any car that is set up for a bit more of a gradual power delivery is really going to have an advantage when the slippery stuff falls. Anyone that has got a very quick power delivery is really going to struggle. I always find the Aston is a little prone to that, but then I only ever run in default setups, so
Hey man, I'm wondering if Mats is in trouble because he's still only in the middle of the pack with only 5 minutes left to go, regardless of how good his pace is. If he just makes 2 or 3 more mistakes, that could well be the end of his qualifying. So currently down in 8th, he would have to overtake 7 people. Well, 6 to just even reach his teammate and 7 to actually win the race. So he's definitely got his work cut out for him as things stand. Ricky currently in 3rd, doing pretty much all he really needs to do to still stay within a chance of winning the title. But Matt's definitely with a bit more work to do.
Very much the case, but we still, long race ahead of us. It's a 32 lap race, I think. I actually forgot to check the race director's notes for this one.
Fennec's gone even faster in pole.
Well played, he has indeed. Further improvement. That's somewhat the point I was making earlier, that the track conditions are not dictated by how early you went out on track. Oops, that's one of the Scuderia Maseratis going for. Is that Condor that's gone for a bit of a wonder?
Yes.
Oh, Matt's almost collecting the back of the red Maserati.
Yeah, that's definitely impeded his lap. I don't think he'll be too happy about that.
Indeed, and that's the thing. I mean, when you go onto the grass in that area after Mineshaft, you're just a passenger. There's a wall to your right, and unfortunately for Condor, it was Mats to his left.
And he's still improved by a significant amount, though Keza now puts it on provisional pole, 3/10 ahead of Fennec. That puts Mats once again more than a second behind his teammate, but I think with an uninterrupted lap, he could well have been 3rd.
There's the irony for you. Rain at Kyalami. Pity the Arnold Slicks. Well, yeah, that was a rejoin. You're absolutely right there, Peter. Now, that is a good point well made there, babe. That is something to bear in mind. In the race, we will be starting dry, going to light rain, and then full rain. So at some point, we are going to be seeing slicks on a wet track. So it's going to be a case of who's got the pit stop right, and also how quickly that rain falls. Now, whilst the weather transition will happen, that heavy rain may not happen until very late in the race, and some may risk sticking with the slicks. We don't know. The heavy rain could come very early, and that's last third of the race. It could come very, very late. We have absolutely no idea. That is completely random. We don't set that. Warlord seems to have buried himself in the grass. We'll just saw him in the back of the shot. Mel, good to see you. Kaiser's fangirl here again. You are always welcome here, Mel. Good to see you.
At least Warlord hasn't buried himself in the pits again, like in practice.
Oh yes, we did have the bug, which we only seem to get in practice, oddly, where a car embeds itself in the pit lane wall. The driver is doing the lap as far as they're concerned, but from our perspective, we see them just basically sat there making the noises and not moving anywhere. Warlord is getting out of someone's way. That would be.
I think that might be Xevious. Yes.
Good spot. Yes, it was the second of the question mark dodges.
Oh, meanwhile, Mats has now made it an all, whatever that team's name is called, front row. They've already won the championship, so I really should know their name. But either way, a dominant showing from both of them.
Indeed. So, resuming where they left off, as was the case last time out, Mats was right behind Kaiser on the front row, but were it not for that disconnect, then I'm sure Mats and Kaiser would have been arguing for the time. I mean, they were glued together for most of the race last time out, but was not to remain the case. Mats took his 3rd win of the season. That goes to show the consistency, doesn't it? Because Kaiser's only had 1 win, which was Spa, which was our endurance round, and but he's been on the podium every other round except for Fontana, whereas Mats has had 3 wins and a 3rd, but he's had a 6th at Yukari Pagua and a 12th at Hockenheim. That's the only reason that he is a few points. Well, on non-adjusted points, they're level on points. On adjusted points, Mats is 3 points behind. So it is very much winner takes all. You really could not get closer if you tried.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And well, I mean, even in qualifying, they're only separated by 0.2, which is the equivalent to maybe one tiny slide with the car anywhere, as Fennec once again puts it on provisional pole for, I think, the 3rd time this session at the death of it. Not sure if he can get another lap in, but either way, a very strong performance from him. Can he interfere with this title fight?
Oh, well, there is a very good question. And yes, he is on a lap at the moment. He is behind. We can see on the map, he's just coming through the Yupsky Sweep, and then now coming through Barbecue. We can see him on the track map. He's actually chasing someone. I don't believe Slipstream's going to be of any use here. Ah, that's who he was chasing. It was Kaku in the Star Wars Corvette.
Just check the name. They are, in fact, called Egypt Bio Organic Oversteer.
Well, they
just
do.
Rolls off the tongue.
Absolutely. And Oversteer is definitely going to be the modus operandi of the day here in the wet. Fennec absolutely on form here in the Dodge. And again, that could be just how the power delivery just makes the car a little bit easier to drive. And by 71 thousandths of a second as well between Fennec and Kaiser. Kaiser's still on track. I've just seen Ricky park it up at Crowthorne. This is turn 2. That's someone having a party. Is that Warlord again? I bet you that's Warlord. I bet that's Warlord again.
Look, where's Warlord now? Has he just left the session, or?
So yes, it is Warlord then, because he must have disconnected from the session.
Oh, that's an absolute shame. This would have been, I think, a great finale to his rookie season. He was quite competitive again.
Yeah, he was up in 5th in the championship as well in the JPS Maserati, but alas, the first has fallen. And Kaiser, couldn't you have let Fennec have his moment of glory?
By 4/10 as well. That's a huge difference.
That is very, very much so. Yeah, here comes Fennec in the sandy coloured Dodge. Can he improve? Oh, yes, he does. In time, but not quite in position. Wow, they were 7/10 ahead of Mats. Good Lord. Well, for the final race of the season, a mammoth. Now we were wondering whether that grid penalty was going to stick, and for some reason it has. But, so, Kaiser and Fennec in the Aston and Dodge respectively have the front row, and then it's an Aston row 2, all in the German flag of Matt and Ricky. So our 3 championship contenders in the top 2 rows. Andrew and Bernd have row 3. Good qualifying from Bernd, right up there in 6th position. Nicely done. Excess in our Soul Lamborghini along with Mammoth. We've lost Jedlin. Oh no. We're restarting. Restarting a manual restart for Warlord. So, right. I vaguely remember that as part of the part of the ruling that if you do get a disconnect through game issue before the race begins, then we will go through the whole. We will have to restart the. Oh, have I set the stream up to be R Factor? Oh, Svi, thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me of that. I mean, I will change it, but somewhat pointless now because it's now been spotted. But so yes, we will have to go through a restart here, which is slightly unfortunate. I may as well put the graphics back as we go through the motions here. That is unfortunate, but that is the rules. It enables all of our competitors to basically be able to race.
I mean, I think they're pretty grateful for that, because not every league is graceful enough to restart the entire thing for just one driver that ends up disconnecting. So that's something I think Warlord will be very, very happy about. We do hope that we don't lose more drivers in the process, though, because we've had that before as well, where we restart it for one person and then 2 other people end up disconnecting on the restart. So,
yeah, that is also true. So let me have a chance to catch up with chat here. Sim racing and wet weather while you're sitting in a hot climate is actually one of the weirdly, really tricky situations where your brain is cold and cautiously but your body is overheating. Now, to put context on that, my good lady in South Africa, so that's why she gives me a hard time over my Afrikaans, rightly so, because it was terrible. It's still, even though they're coming out of summer into autumn, it's still very hot over there, certainly compared to what we Europeans are used to. Svi reminded me that the stream still says R Factor. I will get that changed. Thank you for that. I thought the stream had changed then because the analytics popped up. No, that's just because I'm an idiot and I'm looking at the wrong thing. I may as well just leave it because if I start tinkering with it, I'll probably end it. Is this a finale already? Yeah, it is, I'm afraid, Svi. It is indeed the final. Oh, you oohed there, sir.
Yeah, trouble asking for tire advice in our chat. I'm kind of... I am a bit concerned that if he's asking it here, did no one in the actual driver Discord tell him anything?
It would seem so. I may as well just... I'm going to put the interview music on in the background so that it slightly breaks up the...
The deafening silence.
The deafening silence, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I just spotted Trouble. Does anyone know the right tyres to be on the damp? Yeah, you have kind of set yourself up for a hard time there. I mean, you will find the slicks will be good in the damp conditions up to a point. But yeah, it was what VGG just said. Softs get warm. If they stay warm, they're good. That's about it, essentially. When the softs start to get cold, you'll... But what I find is that the grip levels just disappear before the temperature does. But then the temperature drops, and then you are making a very hard day. But it's wear in the lap that is going to happen.
New lobby is up.
New lobby is up. I thank you, sir.
And we have 18 people in here, so...
Oh, who have we gained? Because we had, I think, 17 in quali, so...
I think I might be the 18th person being counted.
Okie dokie. One assumes that the password is still the same. And
yes.
It is the same, and I can't spell it. I won't say what the password is, in case we have anyone try and join. But it is, what I will say, it is a South African sausage, and it's well, no, it's not. What am I saying? It's dry. It's the dried meat. I was thinking of Wurst. Beg your pardon. Boerewurst in particular, lovely. And no, this particular food is a dried meat, and when done properly, it's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Kind of ironic considering the conditions and league name.
Yes, very much so. Yes, that's the word I was looking for, Trouble. Thank you. South African version of jerky. Not quite as dry. But yeah, it's really, really nice. My good lady will know exactly what I'm on about. Okay, so we are, 19 people. I think that does include you and I. So once we get back down to the grid, being that we have a manual rolling lap anyway, that does allow for the grid to be reformed. In the course of, the actual rolling lap.
It just gives us a bit more time to ramble on.
We're well practiced at that. Right.
Yeah, actually, we might be able to admire some of the before unseen details in some of these liveries, because we actually did spot a couple of new ones in practice earlier.
I certainly did. I don't know if you'd spotted it, but I certainly saw it. On the Lamborghini, I spotted... I
was doing my best to read the really tiny sponsors in the front for that one.
Oh, yeah. There
we start on the Lambo.
There we go. Unfortunately, we can't see... can you go into free cam on spectator mode? I think you might be able to, but I don't know if I would actually follow it.
Do you know how I would trigger that?
I can't remember. I did read it in one of the patch notes, and I have used it in the past, and I've forgotten what the... It's something like Alt Control F or something like that. Oh, there we go. Control F. Thank you, Galax. I knew it was Control F. I thought it was something Control F.
It does not seem to be doing anything for me.
It may not do. It's... I wonder if I can do... Can I do it? I wonder. No. It doesn't work for me either.
Oh, I did see the camera jump, but I'm not sure if that was due to a... Well, what could have caused that, actually?
Well, you might have actually triggered it, and then... I think it's either... I think it's WASD that moves the camera around.
I can't seem to replicate it, and I'm not moving.
Well, that answers that. No, okay. we will stick to the buttons that we know works.
Oh no, his car is just randomly jumping.
Oh, okay. That's a you thing then, because X's car is perfectly...
No, I just saw it on the stream as well. His car just jumped.
Oh, on a single jump, yeah. Yeah, this is top level mucking about. Well, we don't have a choice, Peter. We don't have a choice.
The drivers are still working on their setups and pit strategies. Of course, it will be interesting to see if it's going to be straightforward, as we have seen with the fuel and tires usually. Although I'm calling it straightforward, it's usually still quite different between the drivers, and we never quite know what they're going to go for. But usually the one stop is the order of the day. I'm not sure if that will be the case tonight with this interesting weather slot.
Okay, so the rolling lap will now commence, and our admins will sort out who is where. Kay's just coming through the field. Oh, there he goes. Our Lemon Aston has gone through. There goes Fennec. Now, there is some water on the road. I didn't expect there to be. I thought we were starting in dry... Well, we are starting in dry... dry weather, but not in dry conditions. I need to actually shut the music off, because that is still running in the background. Well, that's fine. I can do that. So,
quickly check the spreadsheet.
Okie dokie. So then, what's going to happen here is the manual rolling lap is going to take place. Obviously, we are forming the grid now, which we wouldn't normally do. And once the rolling lap has commenced, which will be one of the 33 laps that you can see at the top of the screen, we will then roll the lap through to it's around about where the cheetah turn is. Which is the penultimate turn, for those that are unfamiliar with the corner names.
All right, we are in fact starting on a damp preset track.
So it has pre-started correct. So it's on a damp track. So everyone will be on slicks, unless anyone is. I can't imagine anyone has chanced it on the wet tires, mainly because they would just boil. There's not this is not enough water down on damp conditions. However, though, they have got to be careful. Slick tires, damp track. Will still be slippery in certain places, will catch people out. And we have a Drivers' Championship to conclude here, folks.
Maybe they're just hoping for 10 consecutive safety cars until we finally get the rain.
That would be quite a difficult race for us to commentate on.
It would give us plenty of time to reflect on the incidents at the very least.
It really would be top level mucking about. Oh, hello. Why is Bullet Sam pulling over?
I'm not quite sure where everyone qualified, so they're probably still forming up.
Could well be. The Bullet Sam has opted to drop to the back of the field in the Falcon-esque Corvette. Okay, not entirely sure why. That is what he has opted to do. As we have started, so no one can actually join the race, the food in question is called Biltong. It is delicious. The good stuff is really nice. The cheap stuff...
If we have to restart this again, we'll have to change the password.
Have faith, dear boy. Have faith. I'll take responsibility if we suddenly end up with 25 drivers. All right.
We're finally getting into the formation zone.
And that has formed at Cheetah, as I thought it would. That's my boy. Hello, Michael. That is my son that has joined the chat.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I joined, but I be last. You do yourself a discredit there, VGG. Right. Rolling lap coming over the start-finish line for the final time in this season. We are racing here in Kyalami. That is a very wiggly match there going on from the second row. Everybody's starting to scream down towards Crowthorne for the first time in anger. Now then, Mats gets the inside line. Oh, crikey. Now, I think there may well be some lag going on. It looked like Andrew just piled into the back of Ricky. Mats looks like he's having some strange angles going on as well. Fennec, that's very, very deep, coming through barbecue. Bounces off of Andrew, but there's no spins there, and everybody has survived the first few turns.
Oh, as soon as you said everybody survived, I saw someone going slightly sideways and thought that was an instant curse, but they have all survived the first few corners. Fennec, though, with, I think, some wounded pride. Hopefully no damage. He's down from 2nd to 6th. Not the best start, but he does live to fight the rest of this race.
Exus is right the way up in there in 5th at the Lamborghini. He's had a storming start. Very, very nice. Red card offside. Thank you, Michael. Yes. He's
lost another position, going just a little bit too wide there.
That is Kaiser then. That is worked his way, or hasn't worked his way through. That's challenge for Ricky on Mats. Now Ricky can still win the championship, but he does need a bit of misadventure from our top 2, from the Lemon Astons, to steal away the championship. Oh, is that Mats going a bit deep? I'm getting a lot. Are you seeing this as well? Some very strange rubber banding going on.
That's only on the stream. On my end, it's all clean.
Okay, so it's me then, unfortunately, that is having this issue. Hopefully it either kind of tidies up or doesn't ruin the stream too much. So Kaiser from Matt, from Ricky, the top 3. Andrew a little bit further back in 4th place. Kaku up into 5th. Exus has lost a position. You're a bit early with the windscreen wiper there, Ricky. I wouldn't imagine the rain is falling just yet. But it's going to happen. We will have light rain. And then on... Oh no! Trouble for Bulletsan. He is smashed into the wall. His left part of his car behind. Is he facing the wrong way? I think he... No, he's facing the right way.
Yeah, but he's lost the wheel, so I think he's going to be out of the race. There's no way he can bring that thing back to the pits without blowing the engine. Meanwhile, the top 2, I've started to bring the fight to each other. Ricky lagging behind ever so slightly, but it is really neat to see the top 3 in the championship fighting it out for the top 3 in this race.
Yeah, that is a great show. Bulletsan really needs to retire the car. He can't just sit there. There we go. There we go. He probably
wasn't he the one that said he was drinking before the race?
Somebody did, but I'm not sure who it was. No, was it Bulletsan? I can't remember now. Somebody said they were going to grab a drink beforehand. But Kaiser and Maz breaking away at the top of the field. Ricky in hot pursuit. About 8/10 or so second behind. There he is in the Anime Aston. Mass having a look on the inside line, coming up towards Crocodiles. Can't get it done though. Kaiser's gone a little bit deep. Can't. Mats doesn't capitalise on that. Whoop! Goes very, very deep. Oh, he's challenging as they come down towards Ingwe for the third time of asking. Ricky's really closed in on the back of the Lemon Aston. It's an Aston parade up front, and they are dueling very, very hard. And
look at the slipstream. I think he might have another chance into the first corner. He's definitely having a look, letting his presence be known, but does not send it.
Does not send it this time. Riding on board with Ricky as they're still scrabbling for grip. Then the kind of damp track conditions would have dried up to some degree. You can quite clearly see the racing line is dry, or certainly drier, but we know the wet stuff is coming. It's around. Oh, hello, that's trouble. Having a look at Exus, demoting the Lamborghini back down into 9th. Andrew is side by side with Kaku, the Dodge, on side by side with the Corvette, as they have come through Crocodiles, as Andrew is one out over that one, defended his position. Trouble is there in the green Dodge. There's Escher in the Scuderia Maserati. Right behind him is Ben. It's difficult to know where to look. The top 3 Astons still locked in battle.
Yeah, I am sweating hard as the cameraman right now. Action up and down the field. I think something might have happened towards the back, because we have a whole separate pack that's formed back here.
Oh, yes, we have. Jedlin is the lead of this group in the white Corvette. Condor behind. Xevious, taking an alternate route through the dust. And we didn't quite see if he tangled up with JD there. But that's unfortunate. Kuko and Andrew still arguing. I can see on the tower. Their names changing round. As Matt has another go at Kaiser. Teammates they may be.
He's holding it.
He's holding on to that, but can he get the... Can he get the position? Kaiser still got it, riding on board with Ricky. Great ringside seat for the action ahead. The Lemon Astons, they've got the team championship. It's all for personal glory. It is winner takes all. Matt tries to outbreak Kaiser. Kaiser's got the inside line and manages to hold on to the lead. Ricky now challenging for second. Can he get the overlap as they come on through? Oh, it's very, very close. And that is Ricky has managed to get the position, but can Matt steal away that position back again. He's
Matt's gone
nosed.
for the switchback. It's left him for the outside line, and he's managed to actually pull head on
Wow.
the straight. So really good exit by Mats, and now he'll bring the fight right back to his teammate.
Brilliant stuff. Well done to Mats. So briefly losing second, but keeping his head and keeping Ricky behind. Now Andrew is around about 4.5 seconds behind this group of 3. He himself leads a group of around about 4. Xevious is in the pits following his excursion through the dust. But at the moment, it is still Kaiser from Mats, from Ricky, your top 3.
Remember, Mats has to beat Kaiser to win this championship. He cannot finish behind him.
Yes, it is literally winner takes all between Kaiser and Mats. Well, winner takes all almost between these 3. Ricky really does need the 2 Astons ahead of him to not score to steal away the championship. It is possible, and especially with the rain coming a little bit later on, then yeah, anything is possible in this. This is pod racing. I like that. Riding on board with Matt as the lag still looks very weird on my screen. Now then, who's going to win out here? Ricky under the rear wing of Matt's then as they come over the line once more. Xevious is still in the pits. Has he retired? Not entirely certain. Mats goes to the defensive line. Ricky maintains the racing line. He's got to have to go wide as they come through Crowthorne.
Come out behind, so no overtakes here just yet. Taking a quick look at Xevious, he's come in for repairs, no doubt. A little further behind, we still have the fight going on for P4 as well. Andrew under a lot of pressure from Fennec, who qualified second place, so definitely has pace to spare.
Oh, bear it in mind, it was Cuckoo and Andrew we saw arguing for 4th. Now Fennec getting involved in the sandy coloured Dodge, or Cuckoo tries to get the inside line coming through Sunset. In the Corvette, can't get it done. Fennec is defending for all he's worth whilst trying to attack Andrew. Now that he's going to drop them off the back of the... Oh, Bulletsand, race was fun. Oh, it's a shame to see you in chat rather than on track. Bulletsand, you're welcome here. As Ricky, he's gone for the outside line. That's not likely to work coming through Lee Cop. And indeed it didn't. Matt holds on to that one, but that's given Kaiser some breathing space. You never want to give Kaiser an opportunity to get any kind of breathing space. He will use that to his advantage. Ricky pressing home the pressure on Matt at the moment. Matt still trying to stay in the tyre tracks of his teammates.
You can see all the different lines they're picking as well. It's making it quite interesting in case either one of them gets a little bit squirrely and has a bad exit. Now it's looking like a bit of a cutback for Ricky. Can't quite do anything because Matt is parking it on the apex.
Yeah, but that ran Matt a little bit wide on the exit of Ingwe. Ricky couldn't quite capitalise on that. Are you sure rain is coming? Because it's not unusual in SA for it to threaten you with a good time but never pitch up. We're pretty sure it's coming. We just don't know when. We've told... This is one thing with sim racing. You can tell the server to do something. When it chooses to do it is another matter entirely. Not entirely unlike children in that respect.
Now, I will say something real quick. We have lost Xevious from this race. We're down to 15 drivers, unfortunately. And about the top 3, it's interesting to see how much Kaiser and Mats are going sideways. He's just sending it around the outside of his teammate.
Through he goes. Sorry, Bebe. My son, who's on my other account, that's what Chris Buxton 404, that's my younger son, Michael. He reacted to the children comment there. I meant your brother, honestly. Oh, side by side for Ricky. Again, he's going for that outside line coming through Lee Cop. And again, it's as successful as it was last time. He's keeping the pressure on, trying to wrong foot Mats to try and get any advantage he can.
Popular line tonight, but I was saying the 2 Astons in the top 2 here, the Lemon Astons, they are getting a lot more sideways than Ricky so far, so I do wonder what that means in the long term for these tires.
Well, that's the thing. Yes. When and if the wet stuff falls. Oh, was that Matt's diving for the inside? I thought we had 3 wide going through the final turn then. Matt's thought about it, but that's wrong-footed Matt. Here comes Ricky then. He's stuck to the racing line. Can he get it done before they get into the break-ins over Crowthorne? He knows it's ahead, but he's going to have the outside line. Surely that's going to give Mats back the position. He tries to outbrake Mats, does Ricky. He's staying in with it. Can he get the power down? He's going to have the inside for the outside sweep, but no, he can't hold it. Again,
Maybe another
brilliantly
switchback.
driven.
He's definitely got the better exit. Matt's struggling for traction on the curb. He's going to have the inside for the next one.
As they come down towards Sunset yet again, Ricky forced to the outside line. It's not going to work. The corner is too long. Matt's well defended, and just Kaiser cannot break away. That's the thing. Whilst Matt and Ricky are fighting, Kaiser cannot break away from them. Are we starting to see some spots of rain on the camera, I wonder? Well, the windscreen wiper
with the wiper.
Yeah, but yeah, true enough. The windscreen wiper's been running has been running constantly, so that's not an indication of anything. Whoa, Kaiser jumped immediately to that defensive line. Goodness me.
Oh, and they've actually touched.
Oh, now that impact may have actually not been as bad as I thought it was on my screen, but if you're saying they touched, there's certainly a fair amount of damage to the front of Ricky's car. Matt is now behind, but I suspect Ricky's going to really struggle now with that front damage, forcing Matt to the outside line. Yes, we have got rain. The wet stuff has started to fall. Oh, as Matt and Ricky come together again, they stay out. Then it's too early for the pit. The light rain will become heavier later on in the race, but like we said, we don't know when.
Yeah, Mats wants to get ahead of Ricky as soon as possible. He does not want to let Keza have any sort of chance to slip away, and Ricky not really defending it into turn one here. We'll see if he tries to push it on the brakes at all.
Now, with the rain starting to fall, the slick tyres are still the way to go. However, the thing is, the braking zones are going to start to change. Lap on lap, they're going to get a little bit longer, a little bit slipperier. So that's when, right on cue, the tail of Matt's car trying to let go on him, and now you may well start to see the chasing pack with Andrews leading start to close in a bit on these three. It very much depends on the setup they've gone for. Oh, Matt's banzai's the inside of where are they up to now? It's Clubhouse. Oops, Ricky runs a little bit wide, coming through the left-hander, but now sweeps through the S's. That's giving Kaiser about a second's gap in front now. This is exactly what Kaiser needs for Ricky to get involved, but we can't count on
squeeze onto the curb, has Mats.
He did
it's
indeed.
Not put him off though, but it's very, very difficult for him to get a move around here. Overtaking here is not easy in the slightest, and Ricky is no slouch of a driver, so Matt's really struggling at the moment, but I mean, he's definitely not having a shortage of chances because he's sending it around almost every single corner.
Yeah, he's given it everything he's got, and Ricky is doing a brilliant job of keeping that defensive posture as Mats gets a little bit squiggly on the exit. Oh, clouts the curb, giving it absolutely everything he's got. They'll stay on the slick tyres for a little while yet, so I'm not surprised we're not seeing anybody coming into the pits, but Ricky does have that disadvantage. His damage is on the front, so again, we don't know to what degree that his car is wounded, but you can see just
his car seems relatively fine on my end, it must be said.
Okay, so there could actually minimal, if any, damage. It could be just the lag that I'm showing, but Ricky was a little bit tapped there, I think, from Mats. But either way, continues on the race. Ricky now demoted back down into third. Mats really started.
He's under immediate pressure again. Just look at that, a 1/10 gap, and he's only just re-overtaken Ricky.
Wow, that changed very quickly from a 1 second lead Kaiser had, and then suddenly Matt's just finding another gear, really challenging. Look at the defensive posture that Kaiser has to go for coming through Clubhouse, denying Matt's the opportunity to get that momentum. Ricky staying right under the rear wing as well. This is fantastic, but it is allowing those behind them to close in. They kind of close in, they lose a bit. They close in, they lose a bit. Matt very much trying to attack Kaiser again. Kaiser getting the inside line for Leacock for Lionhead. Oh, and that's impact. Well, again on my screen, whether that's actually
there was impact, but I'll take a quick look at the off-board. No damage again, so just light taps between them all. And speaking of the drivers behind, I mean, they are having tremendous fights as well, but with all this championship battling going on in the front, this is for the final result of this season, so this is the most important fight that you will see in all 7 of these races, so this is where the camera will stay for the time being.
Yes, certainly for the lion's share of the race. Yeah, light damage it is. It could well be, with the impact seemed to be a bit more exaggerated on my screen than on Martin. So the damage that we can see on the front of Ricky's car may not actually be there. Has Kaiser let off too much and lost tyre tread? Possibly. Ricky's trying to wrong foot Mass, trying to get the up and under. Can he get it done through Yukskai sweep? And he gets it done. So Ricky back up into second, but can he hold it? Here comes Mats again on the exit of Barbecue. Side by side, the Lemon Aston. He's got the momentum and he manages to do it. Brilliant job before they get to Sunset. Ricky back down into third.
Yeah, Ricky not quite having the speed on that particular straight, it seems, as Mats has a bit of a better exit than his teammate, but the straight's so short you can't really send it around here. No, it's been very interesting to see how much pressure he's putting on Keza here. Keza, I think, he hasn't made any mistakes yet, but he's just so slow that he's under constant pressure. Yeah,
this is proper racing, FIA, take note. Ricky's trying it again, trying to get the up and under on Mats. That was a tiny impact on my screen. Not sure if you saw that. Ricky on the back of Mats there. But,
all's good.
Fair enough. There you go, confirmed. There was no impact there. The clouds are definitely getting a bit heavier, we can see.
Oh, look how much they're sliding already, and that's in one of the slowest corners of the track. So, yeah, I think some people will probably be thinking of pitting in the near future. We are now through a whole third of this race. Matt's just bouncing off of the racing line there. And one thing that I will mention as well in this three-way fight for the lead is we've seen Ricky overtake Mats multiple times now, and that's because Mats he keeps trying to attack his teammate. That's where his focus is, and that's something that you sometimes sacrifice when going on the offense is your defense, and that's why we keep getting this back and forth.
Yeah, very, very true. Oh, Mats trying to commit to that inside line. Can't get it done as they come through Crowthorne once again. Riding on board then with the Anime Aston. This is literally the championship decider. These three cars in this race. Whilst the others are having a fantastic squabble of their own. I mean, Andrew, for instance, is leading a 4-car trade of himself, Fennec, Kaku and Trouble. But this is where the championship is. Oh, Ricky runs a tiny bit wide coming through Sunset. Can't get it done though. Tries to cut underneath Mats once more, but Mats parks it on the apex. So, and all the while, Kaiser is, well, he's had a comparatively easier time, but all the pressure's now on him because Mats is just not letting him go.
Yeah, and you can see Kaiser just holding on to that inside line like it's his absolute favorite granny. He's not letting that go no matter what, and that's let Ricky send it around the outside of Mats again, but the understeer makes that hard.
Oh, Mats has had a big slide there. He's lost the traction. Oh, my goodness me, that drops him completely out of that lead battle. I may have just hit the wall trying to get that rotated round. So that was just at the wrong moment the traction let go. Even though it was a fairly slow corner, drops him right the way down to 7th.
Yeah, we do know that both of these drivers love to dance around with the rear of this Aston, and it's not a car particularly known for its stability. So that is an unfortunate mistake for Mats. Puts him 10 seconds behind his teammate, behind the race leader. Though, I mean, normally this would be incredibly dramatic, but judging by how much Mats has been pushing Keza around there for the entire first third of this race, I'd have to think he could catch him again.
Well, it's certainly possible because we know the rain is slscheduled to get heavier, so we don't know how that's going to affect other people's traction, other people's abilities on holding these cars in the wet, in the slippery conditions. We saw several spins during practice, so it is certainly possible as we're watching Mats just rally across his way through these turns.
Yeah, he does have to overtake a whole... I mean, he has to overtake essentially half the grid now as we're down to just 14 drivers. I think we've just now lost Jedlin as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He was actually he was coming up to be lapped by our leaders. Here we are on board with Trouble. This is the other pack we were looking at. The majority Dodges. There's one Corvette in there. and there it is. Kaku, the odd one out in this particular group of Vipers, with being the sole Corvette. Now, this will be interesting. This could the characteristics of the car may play a bit of a part in this when the track really starts to get slippery, and the track is starting to get a bit of a sheen to it in some places. So, now look at this. We're seeing the rain has now gone really heavy. Much heavier. Well, certainly looks like it as we've come through Leekop and Mineshaft. Now, that could just be how it looks on my screen. Or alternatively, the heavy rains come very, very early. So compared to what I would. We're not even halfway through yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to think that this is just the light rain finally starting to accumulate a bit more on the track. As the fight for the lead, I think, starting to get a little bit closer again. The gap was 1 second just over that on the previous lap. Now Ricky within half a second. They're all catching Keza, though. The gap to Andrew now just down to 3.7 seconds.
Oh, Jedlin, why I decided not changing to dries at the beginning. No, we were literally talking about that. Who was going to start on dries? Oh, that's unfortunate. Easy one stop. They will run till midpoint of the race. Well, thank you for that update as well.
We'll have to wait and see, but Matt says he's caught up to his teammate by just 2 seconds already. So Keza, he's really just trying to make absolutely zero mistakes in this race, and so far it's not costing him any actual positions.
Yeah, absolutely so. I think Max needs to come in before Ricky and Keza.
Andrew's made a mistake. He's lost two spots already, down to 5th.
Yeah, he has
ahead now.
So Cuckoo now leads this particular group. This is now a battle for 3rd place, following Max's drop, fall from grace. But we'll see. An interesting point there, VDG. Max needs to come in before Ricky and Keza and hope they run a lap too long. Well, yeah, fair point, well made. Ricky has closed in the gap. It was around about 1.2 seconds at the point that Max fell away. But now Ricky has closed in to continue putting the pressure on Keza. That rain does look visibly heavier from us. Oh, Ricky clouting the curb there, just coming down towards Ingwe. So that's the curb at Cheetah that he hit there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely... Oh, actually, Andrew's gone into the pits already, so I was about to say he lost another position, but this could well be a strategic stop on lap 14 of 33.
So, will that strategic move for Andrew pay off? That could be, it could be hero or zero. He could burn the best out of those wet tyres too quickly. But as we're seeing, people really starting to get, very, very sideways out of some of these corners.
Did someone say burn?
I don't know. Did someone say? Oh, burn, because I said burn the best. Yeah, see, you're quicker on that. You're quicker on that than I am. Yo, the JPS Maseratis are indeed quite close together. Now, I thought I saw the sheen on the track a little bit earlier on. I don't seem to see it now, as Ben is right with Warlord now.
I mean, there is a sheen on the track, but it's probably not as dramatic as it might be in certain other games. I think that might just be a bit of an AMS2 thing where it looks more dramatic than it is for quite some time. Condor
is in as well, so we will see if that pays off. That's not just tyres, I think, with Condor. Andrew is now on the way, so it'd be worth keeping an eye on him to see if that pays off. Fennec right under the rear wing of Kaku now. Can she hold off the pressure from those behind? That group has really fragmented now, as Andrew was in that particular group. So it's now just the duel. Matt's up into 6th. His next target is Trouble. You see the rain streaming off the windscreen. Oh, Trouble's gone deep. I think that was where Trouble parked it earlier on. Was on that particular. That's up at the Crocodiles. So,
ooh, and you can see just in the background, Warlord having an almighty drift as well. Baron's his teammate just behind, getting squirrely too. I think everyone's starting to struggle now.
Now, is anybody else going to ditch the the slick tires? Not yet. Condor is now back on the road. So, that was a very long stop for him. That's Trouble. Is he going to try and size up a move on Matt, or is he going to stay in the tyre tracks of the Lemon Aston? Oh, big slide there, and that's going to come more common.
Asher's come in now as well from 11th, but Matt's, I think, going to make quick work of this group unless Cuckoo can... oh, actually, hold on, the lead has changed.
Ricky, yes, Ricky has gone ahead of Keza. Now, Ricky needs a bit more luck to go his way to steal the championship away, as I mentioned earlier on. Oh, Keza not letting that one slide, though. Wants that position back. So, trying to press his advantage. But will this be a bit of a cue for Keza to come into the pits? We will have to see. They know what the track conditions are like better than us. Ricky's got a little bit deep. Oh, Ricky manages to shut the door as Keza then, that disrupted his momentum. A lot more spray coming up now, it seems, on stream. Good point. Well made there, VGG.
You know, I will say, I think Keza was maybe maintaining his lead with the power of the stream there, because as soon as we cut away, he lost the lead, but he's definitely not out of the fight just yet. Keep in mind, he has to beat Mats this race. It does not matter to him if Ricky wins or not, but I'm sure for prestige's sake, he still wants that golden trophy.
Yeah, well, absolutely true. There goes Ricky. So it was actually the other way around. I thought Keza was going to come in before Ricky, but Ricky decided to pull the trigger at this point. Keza can't fight, needs to focus on total race time. Yeah, absolutely true. Gap into free air might be good.
Fennec and Trouble coming in as well, so that's a decent chunk of the Dodge group. Someone else behind in as well as that. Yeah, that's the Mammoth and Baron duo too. Yeah,
a lot of people coming in now. So now who's going to be the winner of the Gamblers? And Matt has chosen to continue as well. So interesting. Warlord hasn't come in and he's just tiptoeing around. That's Condor that he's just tiptoeing. Now Condor has been in. Condor was in for a very long time. So now we're starting to see, as VGG was pointing out, we're definitely seeing this. Oh, hello. Was us? I thought somebody was parked on the track then, but again, that could be a lag moment going on there. Oh, that's Exus. I think explore.
He's having an alrighty dance.
Exus exploring, but he's still on dries. The top 6 haven't been in, so I don't think Trouble's been in yet. Or is Trouble?
No, Trouble has been in. He has.
Okay, so it's our top 5 that have yet to see the pit lane then. So Trouble leads the way of those that have pitted, if that's the case.
Well, let's see. Looks to be going around fairly slowly. Maybe he's just warming up his tires. I hope they did change, because we have had it before where the pit crew refuses to put on the correct tires.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I think any AMS2 racer has had arguments with their pit crews before. Kuku and Matt's very, very... Oh, well, big man. I looked up for a second. I thought they were right with one another, but, well, they are fairly close.
They are now, yeah.
Now, who's going to pit this time? JD is in. Is Keza coming in? Yes, he is. What about these two? Yeah, they come through. I would imagine everyone that hasn't yet pitted is going to do so. Here comes Warlord to do the same. I mean, he comes, and that is Condor then. That is going to unlap himself. JD's in the pit a long time. I think that just leaves Exus then to come through the pit lane. Well, let's see how this shakes up the field. Now, Ricky was our race leader. Fennec is... Where's... Oh, Keza's just come in. So, that's going to be interesting where he filters out compared to those that came in a lap earlier. Who is it, the undercut or overcut, that is going to be the order of the day? Top 5 have come in. Ricky flirting with the dust yet again as they come in.
Actually, that's quite surprising, the fact that Ricky's behind Trouble now.
This makes me think... We've just lost someone who's disconnected.
That's an absolute shame. Down to 13 drivers. Now we started with 17. K's already out of the pits. Where is his teammate? Oh, that gap is... Oh. It was 7 seconds. We'll see what it is in just a moment.
Oh, here comes Ricky. So it looks like the overcut was the way to go. Ricky's coming through. Now his tyres are going to be... Now, the wet tyres can tend to be quite hot when they come out on track for the first time in anger. And Ricky has managed to wrestle away that. So Trouble has come in. I wonder whether Trouble either didn't change tyres or hadn't come in yet. I did.
No, I did see him enter the pit lane, so I'm pretty sure it didn't put on the correct tyres.
His pit lane. Well, Fennec is not far behind Matt at all. So the Sandy Dodge.
Oh, he's already sent it.
Yeah, Matt is not hanging around. He wants to get back up into contention. Ricky needs to kind of just tiptoe around. Bear in mind, Ricky's been on those tyres another lap and has to concede. So Matt's then falling. Ricky falling behind Matt. And that's a 9-second or just under 9-second lead that Keza now has.
Yeah, that is quite surprising to see Ricky let Mats go through this quickly. I don't think it was on purpose, but maybe he's hoping that Mats will drag him along to Keza, who is currently indeed 8.7 seconds ahead. So minimal gains there for Keza in the pits. Still quite the gap to destroy for Mats, but he's still got, let's see, it's just over around about 15 laps to do so.
Well, yeah, that's the golden thing. Oh, that was Ricky going off the road, I think. Yes, it was. It was Ricky trying to push a little bit too much on the exit of the mine shaft, and does not win out on that occasion. So that releases Matt to chase off after his teammate. There's Warlord, now 7th position. Andrew wasn't the 4th earlier on and is now in 6th position. I think it's fair to say everybody has been reshot. Oh, trouble!
Oh, hold on. Something's happened to Matt and Ricky.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. So Matt and Ricky have seemed to come together. We didn't see quite what happened. Here comes Kaku to try and nail both of them. The Corvette has got one. Can he get the other? Sorry, can she get the other? I think she's kind of been a little bit cautious on the braking zone. Coming up to Crowthorne. Oh, Matt has gone deep though.
He's not been cautious enough. And it's side by side again. No, just barely not for Ricky, but could well make it into the next corner. He sends it around the outside. Nicely
done. That's up at Barbecue, but still side by side on the exit. The Lemon Aston.
Oh, they touch.
They do a little bit. I wonder whether they just kind of slid off the road in unison because they seem to be going fairly straight. So I don't think there's. Oh,
where's Matt?
Matt's gone off the road. He went too deep into Sunset, and Kaku's remains ahead of them. This is a fabulous battle, but that's dropping.
This could be costing him the championship.
Well, I dare say, yeah, that's dropping Matt further and further away from Kaiser. Kaiser's just doing what he needs to do. It's now 11 seconds up front for our champion-elect.
Yeah, and it's really annoying that we didn't quite get to see what happened there, as Matt's always sending it on the grass at this point. Surprisingly keeps it on the track. But I'd have to imagine either Matt's made a mistake and kind of dragged Ricky along with him, or Ricky somehow managed to catch Matt's by a couple of extra tenths in those final few corners and then maybe sent it on the inside and took Matt's with him. Either way, I think we'll only be able to find out post-race as he sends it on Kaku.
Oh, no! That was too deep. Kind of saw that coming. He committed to the move, but was too deep. Couldn't get the traction where he needed it. I think Ricky let Kaku through that. But they both had to allow Mats through. So this three-way fight for third continues. Mats now leads the way. As that growling Corvette of Kaku trying to find any traction, gets under the rear wing of the Lemon Aston. Can she get the momentum she needs through the kink? What's she going to do coming up to Crowthorne? She's committed to the inside line. Can she outbrake the Aston? No, doesn't go for it this time.
I dare say Mats might be struggling a bit on this tire.
Oh,
and he's gone off again in the first corner.
Same place again. He's struggling to get the brake. Now, whether that's damage to the car or just has not got those, he's not getting the tyres working correctly. Kaku's gone a little bit deep there, coming through Barbecue. So that's going to give Ricky an opportunity to steal away third, which he's done. They're still side by side, though. That move isn't complete. Kaku's going to have the inside line for Sunset. Corvette against Aston. Here comes Matt to try and make both of their days even worse. No, nowhere to use the momentum. Kaku just about squeezes back into third.
Yeah, it's an absolute traffic jam here in P5. Nowhere for Mats to go. Fennec himself is already 6 seconds up the road, so it's turning into more and more of an impossible task for Mats to win this race and a championship with it.
Flirting with the grass is Matt's. Interesting question there, VGG. Has he overheated the wets or wrong pressures? We simply don't know. Matt is absolutely, you're right, he's trying absolutely everything. Has he got slicks on that? I mean, that's not impossible. He might do. I can't imagine he does because I think the track is just too wet. Oh, Ricky's gone too deep. And that's going to give Matt an opportunity around the outside, but again, that's not going to work. And Crocodile's
look how much he's sliding.
Again, that's
I wonder if he is on slicks.
It is possible. I'd be surprised. We're not seeing a lot of sprays, so has the rain lightened? Oh, just as I say, that spray happens. Of course. Thanks, Gabe. So
no, but it's definitely bad news either way, though, because the rain should only get worse from here on out. So if he does have slicks, he will have to pit or he's going to crash.
That is the thing, isn't it? If he continues to fall, then, yeah, that would indicate that he has got slicks on. Now the spray's starting to get noticeably worse. Now, does he just skate off the road here? No, not particularly. Very cautious, seeing lots of tails wagging coming through Crowthorne. Now, Yuxkai Sweep. And then
these are not wet weather lines that Mats is taking. He's trying to keep this car on the road as much as he can there. Kaku getting all squirrely on the exit again, giving Ricky a chance around the outside into the middle sector.
But that's going to put him on the outside for Sunset. That's not where he wants to be, and Cuckoo knows it. Can she hold it? Well, Ricky's keeping the pressure on. Oh, flirts with the rumble strip. Can't keep the overlap. Yes, he has kept the overlap. Gets him the inside line for Clubhouse Ben. Cuckoo's not giving him any. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. They're going to be side by side coming through the S's. That's brave in the dry, let alone in the wet. Cuckoo's not letting it go. Ricky's having to hold on. Around the outside, flirts with the grass. Here comes Mats. It's going to be 3 wide. Is it coming down towards Lukop? Not quite, but Mats actually demotes Ricky. Now Ricky gets the inside line on. Man, this is fantastic. This is not for the championship whatsoever, but it's no less entertaining. This is brilliant. Oops. Bit of a touch between the two Astons. It wasn't as dramatic as it looked on my screen. They're still side by side. No, Mats has had to bow out of that one, but this is absolutely brilliant.
It really, really is. I mean, Mats either way is a very impressive driver. If he's doing all of this on slicks, then that's just all the more impressive, because usually if you're trying to survive on those kinds of tires in these conditions, you won't be going side by side with people that much, because that's going to put your car on a non-ideal line, and more often than not you are going to fly off the track as he keeps it all well under control in the final corner.
Another lap done as we look at Warlord and Andrew locked together in a duel for 6th position. The question mark Dodge ahead of the JPS inspired Maserati. Bert, the teammate, a little bit further back. Oh, Ricky's gone too deep going into Crowthorne. Initially noses ahead of Cuckoo, but Cuckoo gets the cut back in the Corvette. And then back up into 3rd for Cuckoo. The spray is getting very bad now. This also makes following very, very difficult. We ride on board with any one of these 2 cars behind Cuckoo. That's what it looks like to the camera. It's a lot worse than that in car for the driver. So the spray is getting very uncomfortable for chasing drivers now.
I will say, it looks like Mats might be regaining a bit of confidence, so might not be on slicks after all. It's just incredibly hard to know when you have drivers, like if they were on slicks in these conditions, they would instantly die. And you have drivers that on slicks would actually be able to make it look like they're on wets for a decent chunk of the race.
Yeah, very, very true. Well, one person that's very happy with how things are at the moment is Kaiser. 12 seconds now ahead of Fennec, who's up into 2nd. Great effort for the Cream Dodge.
I mean, I'd say it's not good for the constructors, but they've already won it, so.
Yeah, that's already gone to Mats and Kaiser, so the Lemon Astons have already sealed the deal for that. Oh, that's again.
The understeer.
That's again too deep for Ricky and Mats, but no harm, no foul there. Cuckoo's gone very, very deep coming into Crocodiles. That's giving Ricky the opportunity. Massive snap of oversteer from Mats. Now coming towards Cheetah. Oh, Cuckoo's kind of ran out of road there. And Ricky just kind of minding his own business. Mats had nowhere to use that additional momentum. Here comes Cuckoo trying to regain lost ground. Oh, Mats gets a big snap of oversteer. Can Cuckoo capitalise on it? Over the line once again. Tiny bit of impact between the Lemon Aston and the Star Wars Corvette. Cuckoo's going to have the inside line coming up to Crowthorne. She hasn't been confident on the brakes compared to the Aston, but she has actually forced that very mistake from Mats on several laps. But the traction's just not there. Look how shiny the track is now. Undeniably very wet out there.
Yeah, I will say I wasn't quite expecting Cuckoo to try and hold it around the outside of the penultimate corner. That's not typically a move that people try and actually pull off. Now, it does live to fight another day. Still ahead of Matt, so a really good exit from the final corner. Ricky has a bit of resting time now. I think there's some action going on behind here. What has happened?
What has happened here?
Might have just been a glitch.
Okay. There was
back
trouble.
to the fight for P4.
Indeed. So Ricky has broken away from Cuckoo at this point. He can't be at slicks on this point, surely. Well, if they are, then absolute fair play to them. Oh, here comes Mats then trying to demote Cuckoo. Can't quite do it though. As they come down to the Lionhead once again, down to the U-Cop. Look at the amount of turning right into a left-hand bend that Mats is having to do, but everybody's doing that. That's the thing. Pretty much every corner needs a fair amount of counter steer going on, and that's into the dust again.
It's interesting seeing Cuckoo go through that corner in the Corvette, I believe, because you can see just a little occasional tap of the brakes to slow the car down, get a little bit more rotation from the brake bias in there. I don't think I've seen the Astons do that too much.
Interesting. On my screen, we had a yellow flag with no cars in it. It's maybe pedestrians crossing the road. Who knows? But again, look at the amount of counter steering going on with Matt. And look at the spray now. You can vaguely see lights ahead. You've got to get out of the spray to see absolutely anything. Whether you drive with bonnet cam or any cam, quite frankly, you just cannot see through that. So it could well be that that's where these three remain. I highly doubt it. What are Matt's laps time? Said VGG. Well, let's have a look at the board. Actually, Fennec was quite a bit quicker than Kaiser that last time around. Matt's was a 43.0, which is not all that.
You're looking at the best laps.
I beg your pardon. Yes, I am. So 53.5 for Kaiser, 54 for Fennec. Matt's was a 55, so yeah, definitely struggled in that last lap.
And trouble is in extra trouble as he's the only driver with a 20-second time penalty.
Yes, trouble for trouble. Sadly, well, that's probably a track limits. Well, no, that's that. I bet you that's speeding in the pit lane that's done that. It could be track limits.
That would have to be twice, though, no?
Well, it could be very heavy. Yeah, if it's speeding in the pit lane, he's probably dropped the pit lane speed limit too early coming out. We won't know. We'll have to ask if he makes himself available. We will ask what he did. It could be track limits.
And Mats is completely flown off the track.
Very alternate route for Mats. Maybe he's finding more traction out on the dust than he is on the track at the moment.
I wouldn't be too surprised if he's just getting a little bit frustrated now. I think he feels that this championship is slipping out of his hands. He's 22 seconds behind his teammate at the moment. Still 3 drivers separating him from said teammate. Keza, at this point, I think, doing a bit better in these conditions pace-wise than he was in the dry, so maybe that's what he'd set up his car for. That could well be why he was under so much pressure earlier and is now not getting caught by Fennec whatsoever.
Well, anything can happen, as last week very much proved. You can't count anything until the checkered flag falls. Kaku trying to find some grip on the inside line of Crowthorne. Now through Yurt Sky Swept. Again, you just see the amount of squirming going on. Someone we haven't really talked about an awful lot is Fennec. He is very much in no man's land. He's coming through Sensei. He's in second. This will be by far his best finish of the season if he's able to hang on to second place.
That's quite interesting. I mean, he qualified with that shock P2, very, very close to getting pole as well. Ended up having a start that was about as bad as the Mercedes F1 starts lately. But has managed to fight his way back up. He definitely didn't just inherit P2. He had to fight for it with the midfielders. Then did get a bit lucky with Ricky and Mats practically taking each other out. And with all the fighting that's been going on since then, there's just been no answer from this group to Fennec's pace as he continues to lap around at a pretty similar pace to the leader.
Mats has really dropped off the back of Kaku now. It's about 3 seconds or so. No, more. About 2.5 to 3 seconds between Zav and Kaku. And the lack of grip is really, really taking its toll as they come through the S's now.
You can just see how much he has to wait for the car to turn in that corner. I know that feeling all too well as a controller driver myself, but now he's having to suffer that on the wheel, and you can see it is costing him massively. Nothing you can do about that.
No, when you're already frustrated, it's really hard to then just keep the patience there. It is very, very hard. So, yeah, Mats is doing everything he can. Was right up there with the early challenge, but just losing the traction at the wrong time has proved very costly. As Warlord was very close to Andrew there, challenging for 6th position. Andrew's in there somewhere. We can't see him.
They've actually caught up to Mats by about a second on that previous lap.
Goodness me, yeah, Mats is really struggling. It could be, as Peter was saying, he may well have cooked his rears. Either the presses are wrong or he's just spun them up too much. Could well be right on that one. So, but all you can do is just kind of lap as best you can and hope that trouble befalls your competitors. But Warlord here challenging Andrew. This will be a fairly decent result for Warlord if he can get up into 6th position. Looking at the championship, where is he? He's up in the... He was 3rd last time out, in fairness. We didn't see him in Hockenheim, so that would be his drop round if counted. Or that will be his drop round, I should say. So, yeah, this will be a pretty decent result for Warlord if he's able to challenge for that 6th position. Still,
Absolutely.
But still, what have we got? 8 laps to go, 7.5 laps remaining.
And Andrew currently in P6. I think he's only about a spin and a half away from his usual P8 merchant position.
Which he's only
Definitely
hit once this season.
Definitely not trying to curse him or anything. We are running extremely low on commentators' curses tonight with a big fat 0.
So we're slacking here, Martin. We're slacking.
I think some curses just happen on their own, even without our intervention, unfortunately. But we do have, well, you have actually Ricky's managed to overtake Cuckoo. So while we were thinking about curses and stuff, I think Cuckoo might be shouting out a few as they've lost P3 now.
No, Cuckoo already was behind Ricky, but what they have done is drop Matt by quite some distance.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the Corvette was already behind Ricky. Ricky made the move a few laps ago, but has not been able to break away from the Corvette. So Cuckoo has been close to the podium. There's a couple of 4ths in Ykari-Paga and Hockenheim, and was 5th in Silverstone. Has not seen the podium this season, and we have another yellow flag with no cars in it. Thanks, Gabe. I tell you what,
that might be for the car that was in the pit.
Oh,
Maybe
Matt!
the driver got out.
No, there was problem. Matt is down to 7th.
Ooh.
So he's had a spin. I bet that's what that yellow flag was for. When I looked up, he may well have recovered from it. But he's now dropped down behind Andrew and Warlord.
Well, should we count that as a commentator's curse? Because I was just talking about how we haven't cursed anyone, and then
Why
promptly
not?
Matt's has another cursed moment.
Well, we'll count it. Why not? We're the ones in charge of it, so we'll make the rules.
No complaints after the race, Andrew. I don't want to hear them.
Well, Matt, it is all going horribly wrong for him in the closing stages of this race. But still,
It was an absolute ding-dong battle, though, with all 3 championship contenders in the first stint.
a big dent on the rears as VGT. That was there when we saw Ricky hit the back of Matt. But I'm assuming you don't see an awful lot of damage on the back of Matt's car, do you, Martin?
Well, they had multiple taps. I think when you saw the initial damage on Ricky's car, I didn't see anything quite yet, as Matt's almost has another moment. I think one of the later bits of contact actually has put a bit of a dent in the back of his car that I can see as well. So if it actually is impacting his car, I'm not quite sure. I think his main problem right now is tires, as you can just see him understeering like that. Aero damage in these games, it just makes you slower on the straight. It doesn't really do that much for your cornering. So that's what Max will be dealing with right now, as he is catching Warlord. So we could see a 3-way fight for P5 very soon.
And not where we expected to see Matt. And Kaiser will be grinning all the way to the bank on that one. And we'll see if Ben is able to close in on this group ahead of him. Oh, and that's very deep yet again up into Crowthorne. This has been a horrid race for Matt.
He doesn't like that first corner, I bet.
No, he certainly doesn't like it anymore. Other than his 12th place in Hockenheim, which was also in the wet. So wet weather's not suiting Matt, it would seem.
Now, I will say, that outside corner
He's
in turn
gone!
1, oh, well, that's another spin for Mats. Can he keep it out of the wall just barely?
Yeah, you heard him spike the throttle then, probably out of frustration. There goes Bernd up into 7th. He should manage to recover before Mammoth gets there. But yeah,
Look how slowly Mammoth is going through this corner. He's really struggling with understeer, I think.
Yeah, Mats is letting frustration get the better of him, I think.
That's unfortunately not all too of an uncommon sight for Mats. He has managed to win a championship with us before. He's almost always one of the fastest drivers in the league, but actually having a season without the amount of bad luck required to not win the title, well, without having all the bad luck that causes you to lose titles, is very, very tough for him.
Very unfortunate, but he's still continuing though. He's hanging on in there as best he can. Warlord is still in the tyre tracks and very much in the spray of Andrew.
Well, the thing is as well for Matt, just real quick, is if Keza DNFs, and something happens to Ricky, Mats can still win it. If he rage quits now and something happens to Keza, that will give the title to Ricky. So there's still a lot of implications here.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Whilst we still have, 5 and a bit laps to go, anything can still happen in that time. Just the amount of spray coming off the Dodge, coming off of anything, frankly, is quite remarkable. And trying to navigate your way through that spray is very challenging indeed. Kaku's still in the tyre tracks of Ricky. Tiny bit of a gap there, more so than when we last saw them, but not very... Yeah, that's one mistake from Ricky, and Kaku will be right there challenging for that 3rd place.
At this point as well, no more safety cars will be called. I mean, it was already quite unlikely anyway. But especially with 13 drivers on the grid, it's an unfortunate consequence. But, unfortunate for certain drivers who would benefit from a safety car right now. But I'm sure Keza is plenty happy that that is not the case.
I dare say he is. Now just needs to bring it home. It's very easy to kind of drop the ball when there's no one around you. He has put a lap on Condor. There is the Scuderia Maserati in the background of the shot. It's surprisingly easy just to lose that focus and drop the ball at the worst possible moment. But at the moment, Kaiser's just doing what he needs to do. He's not overdriving the car. He's not trying to push for fastest lap. And very little point in this condition. So... 55.9, so plenty of people quicker than that behind him, but he's just doing what he needs to do. He's got a comfortable lead over Fennec and doesn't need to build it. He isn't worried if Fennec even caught him. Just needs to bring it home. Just under 4 laps to go of this season here at MSR.
What is funny, though, is, Keza is dominating this race, clearly not as the fastest car out on track. But just this conservative driving style, being very, very careful, just making sure nothing happens to you. It's giving him better success than the absolute dominant display he had last week, where he was actually the fastest car out on track, was pulling away from everyone and everything, and then got sabotaged by a disconnect. So it's definitely very mixed fortunes there.
Yeah, very, very much so. Through no fault of his own. But then he was being pushed by his teammate last time out at Fontana. So, he had to be quick. Mammoth is in again.
Oh, what's that? Is that damage? Oh, that absolutely is damage.
Yes, it is. Mammoth has hit something very solid, very, very hard.
The thing is, he can't even try and stay out for the next few laps and try and bring it home, because his engine will cook itself if he tries that.
And he also missed his pit box slightly, so there was definite steering trouble going on there for Mammoth.
That may well put him down in last place.
That's that. He will see the track again if he chooses to. But yes, that was. It will buff out, says Peter. That doesn't look like factory error. Well,
illegal modification. Disqualify that man.
Gaffer tape required on that car. As we continue to watch Warlord still trying his best to put the pressure on Andrew for 5th position, and that has indeed dropped Mammoth down into last position. Still a finish, still points, but yeah, it's a shame. Mammoth, he had that steering wheel issue in Yukari Pagua, 2 podiums, a 6th, a 10th, wasn't with us in Fontana, didn't score any points in Fontana, and it's been a very high and low season for Mammoth.
Yeah, absolutely. I had really high hopes for his season after that initial race where he was having probably one of the best fights I've ever seen with Keza, but it just hasn't quite translated into a good season for him. So hopefully we'll see him again in the next one, and we can all hope that the next set of cars will also give us as good of action as we've seen so far. No decision has been made on it yet, but we have done some demo runs on Tuesdays to see which cars that people like.
For those interested, those watching along that might be interested in getting involved, link to the Discord is in the stream description, so head on over to MSR's Discord, have a look around, get involved. You might have us crazy nutters talking about your on-track antics. Mammoth is indeed back out on track with Keza. Is it Keza or Mats? That's Mats, beg your pardon. Right in front of him, but look at... I don't know whether he's trying to just wiggle the tail or he's just struggling to get the tail to behave itself, but But he's still going.
I think unlapping himself on mats would probably be something to give him a slight smile on his face towards the end of this disastrous race.
Yeah, could well be. Great championship, great comms, and a great little community. Congrats to all involved. Thank you for that, Peter. That is very, very kind of you.
And you're always welcome to join as well. It's completely free aside from the game and the rig and the DLC.
Peter's had a new rig recently, so
hey,
yeah, Peter is one of my Kodiak acolytes, so he's a very talented racer, along with VGT, along with Galax, and several others that are subjected to my Automobilista insanity. As we now look at Warlord continuing to hustle Andrew, and still can't see whilst trying to hustle the question mark dodge. So, 2 laps to go of this season. Galax raises an interesting question. Are controller drivers allowed in MSR?
Yes, they are most certainly allowed. I'm actually a controller driver myself, but haven't been in the actual driving league for some time due to the commentary duties, but it's definitely allowed. I'd have to check to see which assists and stuff are allowed, because I think they go for realism when it comes to that usually. And there was a moment where they were forcing manual gears. Now, I'm not sure if that's still done or not, but that's definitely something that a lot of controller drivers might struggle with, so not entirely sure on that, but you are definitely allowed to join as a controller or even a keyboard driver, though those are quite rare.
Would you believe I started my sim racing journey many years ago on Project Cars 1 on a keyboard?
Oh, wow. I mean, I do believe it. And the thing is, I have a friend who still plays PC2 with me on Wednesdays. And I recently challenged him to beat my time in AMS2 as a... Wow, that's quite the save from Cuckoo. In AMS2 with the supercarts around Monaco. And he's bloody taken the world record on his keyboard.
On the keyboard?
Yeah.
Well, bow to that man. That's a fantastic effort. Well, it all comes down to this. I would not want to be listening to... Well, Kaiser's probably saying absolutely nothing at the moment. He's just wheeling that checkered flag to come out. Just one more lap to go into Growthorn. He's managed to maintain, if not grow slightly, the gap between himself and Fennec. Into Yukskai Swiep. That my good lady told me of the correct pronunciation of that one. I hope I'm doing it justice, considering how badly I butchered Afrikaans earlier on. Warlord still hustling Andrew, still trying to get the Maserati to give him any traction at all. But still, the Brit keeps him behind.
I think Mammoth has had a few moments here. He's dropped off the back of mats and he's just doing ballerina moves on the track at the moment.
I think he's just... he's not going to wait for Kaiser to lap him, because that's quite some distance. But I don't think... I think he's just out there doing some Tokyo drifting at this point.
Having some fun, and why shouldn't he? As his teammate Cuckoo now still putting pressure on Ricky, perhaps a little bit more than in previous laps. It's the last attempt around the track, so any chances will have to be now as... Oh, that's actually a really good send there.
Well, I don't know whether that was intentional or not, because that put Cuckoo in a very difficult position there coming through the S's, and that's cost her time. As that may have been her last chance to really attack Ricky for that last podium spot. But I think we need to follow Kaiser through, as he has just come through Crocodiles. There he is chasing... That's the other...
getting out of the way.
Yeah, the other Anime Aston. Well then, for the final time, into Ingwe comes Kaiser, your champion for the season. He's done it. He fought off all the pressure. Other than his disconnect last time out, that is a complete podium clean sweep. As many as was his, the disconnect was not his fault. I imagine that's a very happy Kaiser. He has taken the top spot and will take the crown in this season. Over the line, second is Phoenix. Superb effort there. Ricky holds on to third place from Cuckoo. Flash of the lights from the Corvette. Warlord's ahead of Andrews, so we didn't see the move happen. So whether Andrews made a mistake in the final lap or Warlord has managed to make the move stick, either or, but it is Warlord that comes home in 5th place. Andrew in the Dodge has 6th. Then over the line next is going to be Bernd, the next of the JPS Maseratis. He will have 7th position. Congratulations going out to Kaiser. Yeah, absolutely dominant showing in the final round. Absolutely right there, VGG. Oh, what might have been for Mats. He comes home. He's probably quite happy to see the end of this race. As he then just locks all 4 wheels. I thought he'd throw it in the wall, quite frankly.
I think that's definitely a Mats who's given it everything tonight, and it just didn't play out. It was a very, very tough race, but he's brought it home to the end. And just to make sure I don't get any angry messages from Fennec fans, he did in fact finish 2nd place. There you can see his very happy open mouth car.
Indeed he did. Indeed he did. So I think it's just Escher rather we're waiting for to come across the line. Our last car. And there it is. So the season is now wrapped up. All good things must come to an end. But it's Kaiser that takes the top spot in the end. Not even with the dry fastest lap. That looks like it goes to Fennec. Unless Mats, it would be the other.
Cuckoo set a 42.3.
Oh, by 1,000th of a second, Fennec has got it. 42.342 against 42.343. Oh, wow. Well played. So Kaiser takes the top spot. Fennec in 2nd, Ricky 3rd, Kyaku in 4th, Warlord in 5th, Andrew 6th, Bernd 7th, Matt 8th, Trouble 9th, Escher rounding out the top 10 with a 20-second penalty apparently. No, that was Trouble. Sorry, they had that. Gnome JD takes 11th, Condor in 12th, Mammoth in 13th. We lost in the course of the race. Jedlin, Xavier's, Bullets, and Exus is showing as disqualified. Not quite sure why. Not sure why he's showing as disqualified. I imagine that's actually supposed to be disconnected, but for some strange reason, showing as disconnected, as disqualified rather. Don't know why.
I mean, would he still show up if he disconnected?
Well, yes, because we only had 13 left, and I'm only showing 17 names.
Okay, yeah. Now, I am actually curious, though, about the fastest lap thing. If they had both set an identical lap, would they have gone through the painstaking effort to figure out who set that lap first, or would they give them both the fastest lap point?
Not a clue. That would be someone else's problem if they did that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, who are we going to see in the commentary box, in the interview box? Let us see.
Yeah, we have a lot of people ready for an interview now. I think it would only be right to bring in the champion first, but he is not quite ready for an interview yet. So I will go ahead and drag in Trouble so he can explain to us that absurd penalty.
Yes.
Welcome, Trouble. Not quite a champion this season, but you did get the most penalties this race. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so you had all your theories of track limits and speeding in the pit lane. Well, I had 0 track limits warnings, and I didn't speed in the pit lane.
Ah.
But if you might remember, if you've looked at the league, I think it's news or announcements, it mentions the pit lane exit, I believe.
Oh.
And it's a very long and narrow pit lane exit.
It is, yes.
And so, if you cross it twice, you get a 21-second penalty.
No.
Wait, 21 seconds?
Yeah, it was 21 seconds.
Oh, that's it. I don't get why it doesn't show just the penalty is the same for everyone, because for me it's showing 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's at 20 seconds for me as well.
Okay, well, unless I'm wrong and it's actually 20.
But yeah, I think you did have quite a fun fight in that whole pack of Vipers, right?
Yes, I did. Just before we get to that, do you want to notice something? So, you have to cross the pit exit twice. It's a one-stop race.
Yes. Did they not change your tires the first time?
Maybe.
No, we go.
Fumbled, and I don't know if you realise this, but I'd forgotten about it. Which is that when you go into a new race you haven't done before, it will reset your pit strategy back to the default. So I set up a pit strategy and then forgot to click for that to be the default one, and then didn't.
Oh, but because of the lobby reset.
Yes.
Oh, that is so unlucky.
Yeah. So then I didn't check it in the race, and only realised as I was in the pits that not only did it repair engine damage, which I didn't want, but it also didn't change my tyres. So it went from great race, because I really like how the dodge handles on the soft tyres, to, oh no, I've completely bottled it. And then on the pit exit, both times I was too busy looking at other people going alongside, and there's a little kink in the pit lane exit, and I sort of just cut that kink because I wasn't paying enough attention.
You naughty boy.
Yeah, so it's not going to be removed, that penalty, because it is something that I'm fairly certain we were warned about and should have known about. But oh well, it happened.
Wait, has it actually cost you any positions?
In this case, no. It was going to until the last lap, where I believe Escher fell far enough behind by a second or two, so that it wouldn't drop my position.
Well, I do have one final question for you, Trouble. That reward for the championship/race winner that I posted in the group chat earlier, do you think Keizo would eat that?
I think he'd be more likely to throw it at a wall.
His trophy wall, no doubt.
Destroy it. I hope not the trophy wall. That gets stinky.
Well, hopefully he maintains that wall quite well. And I thank you very much for coming on, Trouble. It's been a pleasure seeing you throughout the season.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks to Andrew, Cuckoo, and Fennec for that really good fight in the first half of the race. That was fantastic. So
yeah, we'll be asking them more about it. Yep. Have a good one, Trouble.
I will be listening. All right.
Enjoy.
See you in a bit.
Next up will be still not the champion, but we do have our P2 finisher, Fennec.
Hello.
Fennec, welcome. Now, you showed up at the last second, got negative practice in, and
about 8 minutes.
you were qualified less than a tenth of a second from pole and finished second. How do you do it?
Good question. I don't know. I literally didn't do any other practice, and the setup was the setup I used for the last race. Plus
my
a
word!
little bit of downforce and some adjustments to the brake pressure and brake bias, and that was about it. So apparently it works.
Yeah, that's pretty special stuff. Did you share that setup with your teammate, or did he go in a different direction?
He might have grabbed it previously off of the time trial before the wet adjustments, but otherwise no, I didn't share it. We didn't really have time to.
But yeah, I mean, you guys both were. I think he showed up maybe like 4 minutes before you did, so not a whole lot of difference there. But you had a pretty tough start. Tell us how you fought your way back up to that position.
The start was interesting because I think everyone else was on softs and I was on mediums because I wasn't entirely sure which would be better. And my tyres were cold for the first lap, hence the tough start. And after that, it seems like my dry pace, despite doing no practice in the dry, actually was also pretty good, which was a nice surprise. So a couple of lucky moves and lucky positions gained with other people having issues, and a couple of moves normally on the brakes, and I managed to get it back up to the bumpers of Andrew and Mia. So from there it went until the pit stop, really.
Yeah,
unfortunately I was unable to get past before then, but just didn't quite have enough in a straight line to get past. It's hard to overtake.
You qualified again less than a tenth from pole. You were catching Keizo in the dry, and you matched his pace in the wet. So if you'd had a better start, do you think you could have won that race?
Potentially yes. It's hard to say because I also put too much fuel in the pit stop because I got confused between the LMU and AMS2 fuel things. So I wanted to refuel to 84 litres and ended up putting in 84 litres, which meant a full tank.
Yeah.
It's about 3 extra laps of fuel and a few extra seconds in the pits. So
yeah, it's enough for a few extra donuts after the race.
Then maybe I would have had him, but I think if it was just one or the other, I don't think it would have been.
Yeah, I mean, I was asking as well because Keizo had an incredible amount of pressure on his shoulders this race. In the first stint, he was getting constantly harassed by both Ricky and his own teammate. Did not crack under the pressure, so I think if you had managed to stick with him, it would have still been incredibly tough to actually go for that lead because Keizo was just holding on to it. You can see his best lap nowhere near the best laps of the others. He was quite a bit slower in that first stint, but just didn't set a single wheel wrong, so that was quite impressive stuff.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise because normally, if I'm able to match him, I'm not able to be quicker in the dry. So closing a gap is not normally an option.
Yeah, that's good hope for the future, I'd say. I mean, on the one hand, it is worrisome that you say, I don't know, when you suddenly have great pace, so that might make it harder to replicate, but the potential is there.
The pace was also there last week, I think, but of course there were some unfortunate happenings for myself, Gillis, and Keza there. But I think one of the big difference makers was putting in a bit of setup work after Silverstone. So for the last race and then this race, my setup was a lot better than it was previously.
Now, my final question for you, Fennec, is that reward in the league chat. Would you have appreciated that if you'd won the race?
Not particularly.
But would you have thrown it at a wall, as we've seen some people say?
I'm not sure I would have thrown it at a wall, but I think I just would have laughed at it and just left it there.
Yeah, that is honestly fair. I can't fault you for that one, but thank you very much for coming on, Fennec. And Kodiak, I think at the end of the stream, we definitely need to put that image on the screen so people can see what we're talking about.
I was going to say, yes, we will show the Bina Colada to the stream so everybody knows what on earth we're on about.
Thank you very much for coming on, Fennec, and I wish you the best of luck in the off-season.
All right. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Have a good one. P3 in both, I believe, the championship and the race. Ricky. Welcome, Ricky. That was quite the show you put on for us tonight. You got a lot of screen time, my friend.
Yeah, hello guys. This was a very incredible first stint. I don't have words for this. It was even twice as much action on the track than in Spa. And I think you guys on the screen had very much fun. Me too. Yes.
That's great to hear. Now tell us a bit about the first stint. You overtook Mats multiple times. I don't think Keza got overtaken at any stage, but it definitely got quite close. Tell us about those fights.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that Keza can be faster, but in the moments he got no pressure from behind, he was even slower. And so Mats and me came closer, and then we drove side by side, and yeah, it was no chance to drive away from the other if you get in front of them, but yeah, and also if you are behind the cars, you can catch up. And the only thing is I had to switch the gears faster because the engine temperature from two cars in the front is getting high.
Oh wow.
I had 163, 36.
Yeah, 36.
Yes.
So
63 would be instant engine death.
Yes.
It was even very hot, and got some 1 or 2 damage points on the engine, and I have to shut a little bit down. Yeah, but it was great. My pit stop was not so great. I slided behind my pit crew and have to switch in reverse gear.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was time that this time was not so good.
A bit of time that you lost, yeah. And there was a moment, I don't quite think we caught this one on stream, but you and Mats went off the track in the final quarter and lost some positions. What happened there?
I was very close on him and pushed him a little bit. He got a half spin, and I want gentleman's agreement and wait for him to get back on the track. And Cuckoo comes, no big deal. I want to play fair.
Yeah, I mean, that is we don't like to see those kinds of incidents, of course, but the way you handled it, I think, does speak quite a bit to your character. Unfortunately, wasn't able to resume the three-way fight for the lead, but you did end up fighting quite a bit with Cuckoo in the end. How was that fight?
I don't know. It was difficult to study him and his line. And the Corvette is a whole other car than the Astons in the first stint in front of me. So yeah, I have to watch every corner was a new corner with Cuckoo, and yeah, some unlucky break moments for him, and I got in front of him.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting insight. Now, you had quite good pace. If not for the extra fights with Mats and the extra fights with Cuckoo, do you think you might have been able to catch Keza by the end of the race?
I think not really. His concentration level is above everything. It's incredible. Maybe not. But my first problem was the not so good pit stop with the losing seconds in reverse gear, and yeah, I'm very happy with the third place.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely showing you have great potential in this league. I am very much looking forward to what you can do in future seasons, and I'm not quite sure where you guys finished in the team standings, but I assume that must have been quite good as well.
Yeah, I think
Let's take a look.
can hold the second place in the manufacturer ranking. And the other thing, Mats finished in position 8, but it was not enough gap for me to get the second place in the drivers ranking.
Yeah. Can confirm Drink and Drive Saxony second place with 214 points, just 11 ahead of Beltrain Racing.
Nice.
So congratulations on that. That was a Herculean effort.
Very, very good. In the beginning of the season, we don't thought that this is possible for us. No way.
Well, if that was possible this season, I'm looking forward to what's possible in the next one, and I'll have to interview you again when the time comes. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for this great season.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch and commentate on. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
All right, the next driver will be our season's champion. As drag and drop there. Here we go.
Hello.
Welcome, Ultimate Keza, or should I say Ultimate two-time champion now? Oh, wait, no, that's 2 times 2 times 2. I don't know how many titles you have at this point. It's too many.
Too many. You can never have too many. I actually had to count as well. It depends on how you want to count, to be honest. I guess it's the second one for the big leagues. It would be the fourth one in total, actually. Because I think I won the GT4 mini league and the Formula Inter mini league as well.
And you've won the constructors as well, so double congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really didn't believe it would be happening, to be honest, after the disastrous last race. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, luck had a part there, but yeah.
I mean,
really
you had one of the most stable drives I've seen all season. Also, one of the slowest drives I've seen from a front runner all season.
Yeah.
But you did not crack under any sort of pressure. Ricky, who was one of the guys fighting you for the first half, said that your concentration was unbreakable. Your car seemed to be unbreakable as well, because I think you did get a few taps from behind. Did you get any damage?
No, I didn't get any damage at all. Yeah, the thing is, I thought to myself, I cannot beat Mats in the dry on a track like this, because Mats is gonna be faster than me in the dry anyway. So I fully committed to a wet setup. Basically, it's my Hockenheim setup with just minor changes, like really minor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really slow, but the good thing was I had basically next to no rear camber. So you might have seen in the fast corners they would always get close, but on acceleration zones, even with an open diff for the wet, because of the lack of rear camber, so to say, I had really good traction, and that always helped me to just be ahead in the corner, and then I just had to park it on the apex pretty much.
Yeah, we caught that plenty of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. that was the whole plan, and it worked brilliantly. Basically, I have to remember to give Ricky a smooch as well because that really helped. But yeah, the whole plan was try and stay ahead for as long as possible in the dry, and then I mean maybe the plan was not even to stay ahead the whole time, but worked even better. And I knew I was faster in the wet because my setup was just built for it. So yeah, gamble paid off, and yeah, really nice.
Yeah,
Also
I mean, it was definitely interesting to see your pace difference in the two halves of this race, because in the first half you were not just getting caught by those two behind you, the pack behind started to slowly creep up as well. I think the gap there just only about 3.5 seconds at one particular point, and then once the rain came, you were matching Fennec behind on pace, so that gap stayed pretty much 12 seconds for the entire race. So no extra threats there. We did see Matt suffering from a lot of understeer. Were you getting any of that in the wet, or was your setup just that much different?
I think it was really different. I could imagine that Mats pretty much had a dry setup, which can work if you can control it in the wet. But my setup was like soft as a sponge, and the diff was insanely open, and I had no rear camber and a lot of front camber. Obviously, in the wets you still have understeer, but yeah, nothing I would say would be really bad. But I think that's purely down to the setup difference.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. He soaked up the water on track and therefore got a dry surface to drive on.
Yeah, true.
Have there been any exchanges of words between you and your teammate after the conclusion this season?
Well, I mean, he just congratulated myself, so to say. I also said I really enjoyed the battle. I think regarding the team championship, we basically congratulated ourselves already last week. That was really insane. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, to be honest, it really means a lot to win the championship, but like winning it against Mats means just so much more, because I know how insanely fast that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
And on a good day, I can never beat him. Like looking at a single race at least. Or at
I mean, you were dominant last week, but then the internet decided that was not allowed and kicked you out of the server.
Yeah, but that was just a setup hack, to be honest.
Ooh, he admits to hacking.
Yeah, basically. So really quick. Last week, the reason I was faster than Mats was that I gained about 3/4 tenths in sector 1 in the oval, because the issue was when you have to drive the car really low, but then you get a lot of scraping, and it basically looks like super clipping in Formula 1. You lose like 30-40 kph.
Oh wow.
So I experimented with a bigger ride height, but then the car felt shit. But what I ended up doing in the end was basically to bump up my bump stop to like 45 millimeters. So basically the suspension can't compress as much, and I still had the lowest ride height. And yeah, I was 20-30 kph faster than anyone else in the first sector. So that's why I kept alive there. But yeah.
See, that's why real life racing drivers have professional engineers to figure this kind of crap out, because it's when you don't know anything about setups, this is all just absolute wizardry.
Yeah, well, I mean, feel free to ask. I'll help everyone out whenever I can. But
I will.
I don't know. For me, that's half the fun, to be honest.
I will say, Kaiser, you say that you'd never managed to beat Mats in the dry. You beat him, including tonight. Well, okay, tonight was mixed conditions, but you have beaten him 3 times this season. 4, including tonight.
I mean, yeah. But if you look at it individually, I mean, I've beaten him today because I was better in the wet, I guess. But in Spa, for example, he would have beaten me easily if he hadn't had the incident with Ricky. And even in the first race, he had an incident or issues with a spin, but pace-wise, he was still a lot quicker than me.
For tonight, Case, I wouldn't say you beat him because of your rain pace. I'd say you beat him because in the dry, you learned the sacred art of brick wall racing.
Yes.
Yeah. Of parking.
The widest Aston in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's. I mean, it was a pleasure to see. I think some of the midfielders might be a bit bummed out that they got very little screen time this time around, because unlike the usual case where it's just you two out in front, very, very close together, just biding your time, it was actual blow to blow to blow, corner by corner, trying to get an overtake done. Sometimes overtakes were getting done, just it was right behind you, so not you actually losing the lead. But yeah, it was quite a bit of action that we did catch most of this race. So that was a treat to watch. My next question for you, Keza, is what was your favorite race this season?
I think there wasn't really a bad one, to be honest. If I hadn't had the disconnect, I think I would have had the perfect podium streak, which I never had before as well. But yeah, I have to say, I think Fontana would have been my favorite one if I wasn't disconnected. Because yeah, the car felt just magic with the setup hack, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously tonight I was just smiling the whole time after the pit stops, because I knew just bring it home, keep the pace steady, don't spin. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I think this might have been the best cars we ever had in the league. Racing wise, was amazing. I really, really enjoyed those. It's going to be hard to top that.
So you're saying we need more BOP next season?
Or no BOP, because everybody's wishing for equal cars.
True. That would be interesting.
Yeah. So far, I think all the choices we have are equal cars. So that's. I think we're gonna have equal cars for next season anyway.
Interesting. So we would have to do BOP where Mats and maybe 3 other drivers have to use wet tires every race.
Yeah, yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I do have 2 more genuine questions for you, Keza, and one of those was we have people asking if controller drivers are allowed to join. I said most certainly yes, but do we still have manual gears forced on or not?
I think we can talk about it. If we have rolling starts, I'm down to have it enabled, to be honest. If we have standing starts, it's a bit of a cheat, to be honest, because you can just accelerate it and have a perfect start every time.
Now that never happens on our Tuesday races.
Really? I mean, maybe they fixed it, to be honest.
No, it's a bit of a meme on Tuesdays that I always get ridiculous starts despite my bad qualifying positions.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I think it's very likely we do have rolling starts, because people also wanted shorter races, no fuel saving, so we might have the double race format with reverse grid stuff. So I don't see any issue there, to be honest. Yeah, if you want to join with a controller, you're more than welcome to join. We always had competitive drivers on the pad as well. I think Mats himself was a controller driver not so long ago. So yeah, feel free to join, obviously.
Yeah, and the switch to wheel has only made him even more powerful. Now, Keza, my final question for you as you're enjoying the glory of a double championship this evening is that reward that I posted in the league chat. What would you do with it?
Potentially throw it out and make myself a good, nice cocktail.
Now, we did hear someone say that they thought you would throw it, but they thought you would throw it against the wall.
My wall is too precious for that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can use the glass if you wash it out. So maybe you use that one.
Oh, there we have it on stream, ladies and gentlemen. That is the image we have been talking about for the past 4 interviews.
Yeah. Okay, let me just have the final word there real quick. Thank you, both of you, so much for the stream. They have been absolutely amazing. Also, especially to you, Kodiak. Like the feedback I'm getting from people watching the races, they really, really enjoy it. You are an amazing commentator. You as well, Martin. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys. It just elevates the league to a level that I absolutely love, and I hope to see both of you guys back in the future. Thank you so much. I cannot emphasize it enough. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Dankeschön, Herr Keza. Dankeschön. I definitely can't take all the credit. I mean, Martin has barely got a word in edgeways all season.
Yeah, I will say, especially for the first few laps of this race, I wasn't even trying to bet it. I was just trying to focus on the cameras and stuff because there was battles going on absolutely
yeah.
everywhere. But even just for the battle in the front, there was so many angles I could choose from. So I was locked in tonight.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watch it back, especially the first part with the battles. I always watch the stream back at least twice. It's really good. Yeah, I cannot.
I'm throwing that Bina Colada away. That is just a horrible image.
And we do have Video Gamer Guy asking if he could get some bread with that as a bread.
I expect you to send it out to him. I forfeit my win. On
Championship goes to Matt. You heard it here first, folks. Oh my word! No, it's been a pleasure having you on as well, Kaz. I look forward to the next season, whatever car it may be, and I hope for the competitor's sake that you don't end up with double digits worth of championships.
Well, it would make it exciting, obviously, but I will never say no to another championship. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. There's still other people in the Ready for Interview channel. Don't want to steal more of your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. All right. Someone who has fled the Ready for Interview room. I'll see if I can drag him in there from the post-race hangout.
Yeah.
You thought you'd escaped us, didn't you, Andrew?
Oh, what the fuck?
No, so congrats on your P6 finish. You had some fun battles tonight, it seemed. I will say, we did get one commentator's curse in. I think you might have complained about the methodology originally. However, I think we were saying, oh crap, I've done so many interviews now that I've forgotten it. But like after we gave the commentator's curse to Mats, I remembered there was a better reason for labeling him as being cursed tonight, but I've forgotten it already, so I do apologize for that. Either way, tell us about your race tonight. It was definitely not boring.
I made a terrible setup and had a terrible time.
You kind of sound like you're smiling, though. Tell us how terrible that time truly was.
No, I'm just tired. Maybe I'm going delirious.
Oh, no. Did you perhaps have a beer before the race?
No beeroo.
No Bina Colada either?
No beans. I guess it was fun fighting against Mia and Fennec, although Mia doesn't see it that way.
Ooh, was there beef?
Yeah, beef and beans.
Beef and beans.
A hearty meal and...
May have pushed her wide on a couple of exits.
Ooh, and without giving the place back?
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Who do you think I am?
Oh gosh, I'm dying.
That's the
You
Bina
asked the
Colada
next
for you.
question, Kodiak.
Well, that's the Bina Colada for you. It's your own fault, Martin.
Fucking bean.
I can assure you, all I have with me is some chips at the moment, but no, and not the British chips, the actual chips. No, so just saying now, Andrew, you ended up finishing quite close to Warlord. Tell us a bit about that fight as well, because that was the last one you were involved in.
Well, he couldn't do anything because he couldn't see anything. And then I choked on the final lap with like 3 corners to go, so I gave up the position.
And was it just going wide? Was it a lockup? Was it losing the rear?
Yeah, I just lost the rear into what's the corner off the Loikop? Left hand.
Mineshaft.
Yeah, that corner. I went in too fast or tried to slow down too late, both, and drifted into the sand and lost my P5.
You're definitely not the only person who hates sand, but I will ask. So I think a lot of people saying the car felt great in the dry. How much did that change in the wet?
No, mine was terrible in the dry and the wet. Apparently, I did the opposite of what I should have done with the differential settings. And I also closed the brake ducts up way too much, so my brakes were massively overheating for the first half of the race.
Yeah, I was about to say, why would you do that? Because opening the ducts does not really give you an advantage in this game.
No, I closed them up because I was anticipating that the brakes were going to get really cold in the rain.
Oh, so it was for the temperature. Okay, yeah.
But that just mean I was hitting like 1,200 degrees on the fronts into T1, and
Whew.
yeah, You could just see every braking zone. I was getting absolutely mugged, especially like the final corner.
Yeah, that's well, I'm a bit surprised by the final corner because the run up to it is not that long, but I mean, despite your setup woes, still getting P6, it's better than your P8 merchant position.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, there are rumors going around about next season being a spec series. Are you expecting better fortunes then with equal performance?
I don't know. I'm quite scared I'll be exposed. I can't cry about Bop if we all have the same car, can I?
Very, very true. You could still say it's the setup.
Yeah, true. That's the backup. It's not as good as an excuse though.
Any tracks that you'd like to see next season?
Nordschleife.
How many laps?
Not 30 laps.
Like 10.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a good bit of fun. Maybe not the best for racing action. I don't think there's a crazy amount of overtaking opportunities around there. Maybe if we did it in the supercars. Those cars are small enough to go side by side there.
What, with full damage on? Are you utterly mad?
See, I mean,
you crashing in certain parts of that track in a go-kart, you just get thrown over the barriers and fall to the ground. Or fly into a tree and break your neck.
I mean, by that point, the person who survives until the end of the season would definitely have earned the championship, I'd say.
Yeah. Fucking, maybe you'll get your first posthumous MSR champion.
Oh, no. We do not need a virtual Jochen in this league, rest his poor soul, but I do take it you've enjoyed this season, right, Andrew?
Yeah. Good cars. Surprising. One of the few good cars in AMS2.
Ooh.
And if you were to bop any other driver, who would you have put in the bop?
Well, who wasn't already?
Yes.
I don't think there are any. There's a pretty comprehensive list of people in the bop. It was just that the wrong cars got bopped.
So you wouldn't bop Exus?
No.
I think Exus will like you quite a bit for that answer. So thank you very much for coming on, Andrew. It's been a pleasure having you on for the races and the interviews, and we'll see you next time.
Sure.
All right, let's go ahead.
I love that comment from Video Gaming Guy. You know it's mad when Kodiak is suggesting a cart with damage is mad. Yeah, my Kodiakalites have been subjected to some horrendous combinations in the past.
Definitely making me a bit curious. You have to tell me a bit more after the interviews, but next one...
All on my channel. Go and have a look.
Hashtag not sponsored. No. Next driver we're bringing in is going to be P4 finisher Cuckoo. Welcome, Cuckoo. That's a strong P4 finish. Just a second away from the podium.
Yeah, I think I should be on the podium, to be honest. It was a very strong race, but yeah. People kept driving into the side of me, essentially. It happened 3 times, and yeah, I never got the places back.
Yeah, we did catch wind of some of those in the previous interview. Were those all with Andrew, or was it with other drivers as well?
2 with Andrew, 1 with Ricky.
Ooh, so we could see some...
The second one with Andrew gave me damage, which I had to carry for the rest of the stint, which made catching and passing him again difficult. And then obviously I carried the time loss from that into stint 2, which put me in the battle with Ricky and Mats to begin with. And then penultimate corner, side by side with Ricky. Ricky carries too much speed, understeers into the side of me. You can argue I shouldn't have tried it, but as far as...
that one. Yeah, we caught that one, actually.
The rules say I'm entitled to space. I was making the corner. I left all the room on the inside. In my opinion, too much speed. Crashed into the side of me, pushed me off.
Well, he did say he didn't like his own setup, so he just wanted to join you in your car. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact of the matter is I never got that place back. And you can say what you want, but in my opinion, he never got fully ahead, and then understeered into the side of me and shoved me off. I think I was like 7/10 behind at the end of the race or something. So I mean, I was there the whole time, but by that point the spray had kicked in, and it just makes everything so much more difficult.
So will we be seeing any post-race reports for the stewards to look at?
Yeah, for both of them.
All right, so results not yet set in stone, ladies and gentlemen. Cuckoo, tell us a bit more about the season you've had so far, because it's been it's had its ups and downs, but you've had some strong pace as well.
Yeah, ups and downs. Obviously, I don't know what the hell happened at Virginia. That was something. Hockenheim arguably should have won that, but screwed up the pit strategy. This one arguably should be on the podium, but people keep driving into the side of me. Fontana, I do not know what happened there. My Corvette was just dead in the water. I qualified dead last, and then somehow managed to get into the top 10 at the end of it. That was such a weird race, that one. But yeah, mostly positive, to be honest, but yeah, annoying moments along the way.
Annoying thing that some consider positive and others consider extremely negative is the thing that I posted in the league chat earlier, the Bina Colada. If you'd won the race, would you have been happy with that?
What, a Bina Colada to celebrate?
Yes.
Of course.
All right, we have our first positive answer tonight.
How could you not enjoy a Bina Colada? Is it hot or cold?
See, that's what I asked Kodiak, and he wouldn't tell me.
Well, I said it wouldn't make a difference to its. Yeah, well, depends how much. It depends if you've been a student or not. But yeah, I kind of didn't enter into that. I didn't think that it was going to make a blind bit of difference.
Now, we have had a suggestion from Video Gamer Guide to add bread to that. Do you think that's a good solution, Cuckoo?
I mean, it's a celebratory drink. How can you drink bread?
I mean, maybe it's just, you have a drink, but it makes you hungry.
I'll accept that.
Now, one final question I have for you is, have you seen who rejoined the server recently?
I have indeed, my former teammate.
Will you be teaming up with them in the coming seasons?
Potentially.
Ooh, that's definitely something to look forward to. That very, very chaotic individual. It's definitely going to be interesting if he signs up for the Monday League. So thank you very much for coming on, Cuckoo. I hope you enjoyed the Bina Colada, and I'll see you again in the next one.
Yep, I'm going to go and get dinner and then console myself with ice cream, I think.
No, with more Bina Coladas.
And a Bina Colada, obviously.
Can't forget that. Thanks for coming on, Cuckoo.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
Will do. Next up is not Bernd, but it's... Well, actually, we can bring both of them and their teammates. Welcome, Beltrain Racing.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah, that was... It was quite a tough race in the rain. You guys were both together for a period of time as well. Did you guys have any battling amongst each other?
Yes.
And Warlord, from your perspective, how did that go?
Yeah, I was chasing him for a little bit, trying to spook him. Then I gave up for a bit and just sit behind him, but at some point I think he made a mistake and I was able to get past.
Now, Bernd, from your position, did you feel spooked by your teammate?
Into turn 3 and 4, yes, absolutely. And also it didn't help that I cooked my brakes and just lost the confidence on the braking, which resulted in me going deep into some corners and ultimately allowed him alongside, and then I just lifted out to not lose any time.
Did you, like Andrew, cook your brakes by closing the the brake ducts too much?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, seems to be a bit of a common issue in these conditions. What was your favorite moment of the race?
The finishing line.
That is fair. Next season will likely be with a spec series car, so everyone would be in the same vehicle. Are you looking forward to that, or do you think setup difference might still separate the field a bit too much?
I'm looking forward to it for sure. So we do not have to worry about any BOP, so that is nice.
Yeah, it definitely does make a difference. Warlord, what was your favorite moment in the race? Hopefully not the finish line.
When Andrew went off the track and I finally had no rain in my face for the last.
So almost the finish line, because that was at the last lap of the race.
Exactly.
How much practice did each of you put into this one? Because the conditions are obviously more challenging than usual.
I did 2 sessions, practice sessions, one on Saturday and one on Sunday.
How about you, Bernd?
For me personally, I did like one practice session for like in the race conditions and one in the quali and one like 70-liter stint or something to get a grip of like the race start and the dry conditions.
So you guys both came quite well prepared, I'd say. What's one very important thing that you learned from practice that you wouldn't have known had you not practiced for this race?
Probably like the cut-off point when to switch to the wets. But obviously I should have also looked a little bit more in depth to like the brake temperatures. So.
How about you, Warlord?
Yeah, I think the most important was the tires. Choosing softs to start the race and when to switch over to the wets, I think was the most important decision you could make to get a good result.
So not necessarily a whole lot of setup changes then.
Oh, you do make the setup softer for the wets. I also took in some extra downforce. And yeah, the brake ducts, that's on me. I closed them too much. And I gave the setup.
Oh, you as well? So that's the third already.
Yeah, but I made the setup and gave it to Burn, so I'm...
Oh! Yeah, I can't fault Burn for that one then.
No, I set it up for when it was very wet, and during the dry they get a bit too hot.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, thankfully you guys both kept it out of the wall. Those cars still looking very, very stylish indeed. If you guys team up again, do you think you'll be running a similar livery that season?
That's something we could think about. I don't know.
I mean,
you don't have to. I'm just wondering about your creative decisions.
I mean, so far, I always trusted Kaiser with the liveries, and he didn't disappoint us a single time so far. So.
By the way, didn't you decide who's had the best livery this season?
We did have that discussion.
I believe we did, yes.
But I can't remember what we decided. I've always been really partial to your JPS inspired livery. That is definitely one I've always liked.
Yeah, I think we did end up agreeing that was the best livery. Unfortunately, we weren't quite able to make a physical tier list this time because I couldn't take screenshots of the cars on time because I do not have the DLC, unfortunately. But it's definitely a card that I think takes the cake. Although we did have a lot of good liveries this season, not really any to really laugh at this time around. So that was a pleasure to see. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have this livery again, who knows where we'll see it next time this season. Maybe it'll be in the front.
Yeah, who knows?
Now, final question for you, Warlord, is this was your rookie season. Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the results. Yeah, it was P5 would be perfect, but it's P4, so that's more than perfect, I think.
All right, then my final question for Bernd follows that one. Bernd, are you happy with Warlord's result?
For sure, for sure. I'm more happy with his results than with ours, to be honest.
So that is the very definition of a supportive teammate right there. Thank you very much for coming on, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having.
Oh, I forgot to ask them the Bina Colada question. Did you guys see what I posted in the group chat earlier, in the league chat?
Yeah, I did.
Would you have eaten that if you'd won the race?
I think I would make some plants very happy.
I'm not sure if that would be good for plants. What was that, Bernd?
I think I would have passed.
Well, that's we've definitely heard a wide range of opinions on this stuff tonight. It's almost like Marmite, apparently. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in a future season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great fun.
I love the fact the only driver that would have actually had the Bina Colada was a British driver. That
does not surprise me.
Yeah, no, it's not surprising for me either. Although I'm a little bit upset with Video Gamer Guy mentioning port scratchings. You heathen creature, you! Non-British drivers don't ask what port scratchings are. They are foul.
Is it as bad as haggis, or is it worse?
The one is a dried product like what you would call chips. Haggis is a very, very different beast. They're impossible to compare the two. Good haggis, I'm told, is very nice. I have lived in Scotland and I didn't brave it, so
it's definitely an interesting thought to end the season on. The quality of haggis.
Well, that does bring the season to a close. It has been tremendous fun being part of the broadcasting team for this. I think every time we've done the commentary thing, I've done a slightly different broadcast style for the actual interviews, but there we go. Thank you very much to those that have been with us, either live or post-event. Your presence is always very welcome. Thank you very much, Martin, for joining me in the commentary box. It has been worth the kind of 5% of words you've managed to get in all season. It's been a great pleasure to have you alongside me, sir.
I do feel really bad sometimes when I interrupt you, because I mean, I obviously have to interrupt you to get a word in 3/4 of the time. But sometimes, as I'm in the process of interrupting you, I hear you say something interesting, and then I feel incredibly guilty.
No, I told you at the beginning of the season that is what you had to do. So no, not at all, sir, not at all. And
it's definitely been a pleasure working together with you, though, and I hope you've enjoyed the camera angles this season as well.
They have been somewhat challenging in certain places. Thanks for the streams, excellent fun. Thank you, Video Gamer Guy. That is very kind of you indeed. And thank you very much to our drivers for putting on a fantastic show all season long. And congratulations to this man, to the Kaiser for taking another, adding to his championship tally yet again. And for those wishing to get involved over here in MSR, the link to the Discord is in the stream description. So head on over, have a look around, get involved. You may have crazy people like us shouting about your on-track antics. Until we meet again, thank you very much and good night.
Good night, everyone.
You had to get one more rolling on in, didn't you?
I almost tripped over myself rolling that one.